If I sound... Oh, that is loud. If I sound more distant than normal, it is because I'm using a PlayStation camera to pick up my voice. To Valhalla! No, no, no! No, 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 no.
Jack!
No.
Zola, some assistance?
Zola?
That's Sora, Donald, and Goofy.
Will you leave a mate to perish?
Aye, aye.
I mean... Don't ask me, bro. I might. I just might. You never know. Oh my god, I'm gonna get the pirates.
Take this! Back off!
That would have killed all the pirates.
It's over! Give me strength! Right! This is it! It's over! Take this! Take this! It's over!
Yo, what you gotta tell?
For now, let's see how much power you have.
I am sorry. I'm watching.
You were chosen by Shinra. Sorry for attacking me, by the way.
Some stuff.
Yeah!
Oh no.
Yeah!
What's that? Alright, let's go. There's Demirta.
Back off!
Oh my god, how do I not miss this?
Gather! Yeah. It's over. It's over. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. Take this. Take this. It's over. Yeah.
Interceptor off the starboard bow!
Will! Stop that, Jack! We've got to rescue him! Will! Wake up!
Elizabeth.
What happened?
Why are there so many Android
medallions.
18 figurines?
The stone chest. Someone's taken them. Next thing I knew, we were attacked. But I couldn't see who it was. His face was shrouded in a black hood.
The organization.
We found a way out of the cave. But the villains sent a horde of terrible creatures after us. I've never seen their likes before. I think I'm the only one who made it back to the ship.
Will!
Elizabeth, I feel rather...
Our turn, guys.
Whoa, there's a person here.
You'd best go prepared. We've no idea what's out there.
Pardon me, lads and lass, but your captain will have no monsters today. Thank you. We're turning for home.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Oh, that's right. I gotta re-download Xenoverse 2 so I can play that.
Yeah.
Don't remember inviting you.
So it was the organization. We'll handle this.
The darkness of men's hearts, drawn to these cursed medallions. And this
Oh, that's my
heartless,
boy.
a veritable maelstrom of avarice. I wonder, are they worthy to serve Organization 13?
And you want an answer now?
Precisely.
Yeah, back off. This is it. This is it. Goofy, come on. Yeah. Back off. It's over. It's over. Gather. Yeah, yeah, free. This is it. Yeah, take this. It's over. Not over yet.
Yo, it's Luxord.
Throw him overboard.
Aye, aye.
Holly!
Excuse
Oh,
me.
no, not Parlay.
Barley?
It's a bit of the pirate's code. Anyone who invokes parley must not be harmed till negotiations are complete.
This is no time for rules.
True. But as we're honorable pirates, we should always stick to the code. All right, you. Out with it.
I surrender the chest with my humblest apologies.
Rather accommodating of you, mate. And for that you want...
Just a few souvenirs. For the memories.
Huh?
Oh no! We can't stop the curse unless we got all the medallions!
Our friend's about to learn what it means to cross a pirate.
Oh.
Sora, Donald, Goofy, it's yours.
Fire!
What?
You stole a medallion again?
Were I only that fortunate.
So, how come you're all skeleton-y?
Perhaps I got a touch of something from that monster what attacked us. Yet, why is the skin resting right on you three?
Cause we're not greedy. What do you get to that?
That still doesn't solve the mystery.
Gorge, maybe the reason we're all okay is because we're not from this world.
You must be different yours.
Yeah. We're always just passing through. Wonder when we'll see home again.
Sure.
Just kidding you. Lucky we didn't get cursed, huh?
Quit yammering, mates. We've got to find ourselves a ship that'll float.
Yo, Chicken Little.
Yeah, this is it. Ha, ha, yeah. Ha, ha. Ha. This is it. Yeah. It's over. Gather.
Yo, we just got Santa Cruz.
It's over. Gather. Yeah. It's over. Yeah.
A medallion! Get it!
Back off! It's over!
You can see I have like this kind of like white and bluish aura around my body. I'm not talking about like the flames. Like
3 more to go.
How do you know?
The pirate must have a keen eye, else he won't be sailing free for very long. Savvy?
What? What's that?
Ahoy, mateys!
Ridiculous imitation, and yet I'm flattered.
That's when Vegeta did it. When he was charging up, so that looks cool. And let's take this slowly. Let's go slowly. Dude, I'm so hyped for photo mode right now. Oh, look at my character though. My OC. Look at his eyes. You guys saw the eyes? Watch. I'm kind of hyped right now. Let's take a look at the eyes. My eyes closed. Oh, the glare. The glare. Hold on, let me focus that up real quick. Oh. It looks so good. Alright, let's keep this moving. And then, the power right there. Get over here, boy. Get over here.
Yeah, take this.
Insane, I know the move did get bugged though. But moving on to the two ultimates once again. First, starting out with Final Kamehameha. Final Kamehameha is now doing, as you see, 15,294 damage, guys. Absolute insane damage right there. Considering what the move used to do before and things like that. And as you see, Burning Strike is doing 7,950. Again, apply that to an actual straight build. You're getting somewhere around 10, 11k damage with this move now, as opposed to before when it was actually very weak. But like I said before, it's actually very fine at this point in time as well. Now that we've got all of this,
It's over. Back off.
all types of stuff like that. Really quickly, so first and foremost, taking a look at the stamina recovery. While in Super Saiyan,
Gather.
for the most part, everybody does know this. I still have that Super Saiyan.
This is it.
Change my stamina to
Back off.
Super Saiyan. When I show this thing, you take a look at the stamina recovery because the stamina recovery is insanely fast for the Super Saiyan. That's what it's not as fast as it is in the Super Saiyan. Now when you get in there,
Gather.
it's really slow. It's not that fast. Super Saiyan.
Gather.
So while Super Saiyan at the same time, guys, it does give you your stamina back at a better rate than any other transformation or form in this game does. Maybe Super Saiyan Blue Evolution will actually be better than that. That's the whole point of this.
Back off.
Yeah.
It's over.
Those who may not know about it, Super Saiyan
Yeah. It's over. It's over. It's over. Yeah. Take this. Yeah. This is it. This is it.
ways to actually prevent that key draining and stuff like that happening. But the last thing we're going to take a look at is just the simple speed, just the simple if your speed improves at all. When going into Super Saiyan, being basic, that's how fast you are.
It's over.
One time again, get these two bars of peace right here. This is your body. And now going into Super Saiyan Blue, taking a look at the speed right here. As you guys can see, there is a clear difference in the amount of speed, how fast I'm moving towards Trunks, away from Trunks, all things like that. So without question, Super Saiyan Blue is definitely faster than base form. But the real question is how much faster is it, or is it faster than Super Saiyan Blue Evolution? So now we're about to jump into Blue Evolution. Test that.
Take this.
Let's roll to Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Basically just did what the other Super Saiyan.
Yeah. Take this. Back off. Yeah. Take this. Yeah.
Except we're not going to be testing stuff in base form again, like I said before, because there's really no need to test base form twice. But now that we are in Super Saiyan Blue Evolution,
It's over.
as far as the species goes, I feel that
Back off. Back off.
Darkness to it around it.
This is it.
I just feel like it should have been done a little bit darkness really similar to the color of the actual blue already available in this game. If it was a little bit done, I think it would be better. But all in all, I really do like this transformation. The animation, the look of it is fairly dope in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below. Now, jumping into this though, first and foremost, starting out with the basic combo, got to do the same 5 Light 3 Heavy one more time. And now the 5 Light 3 Heavy is doing 5,721 damage, guys. Super Dragon Fist, on the other hand, is now doing 4,023 damage. So now moving on just saying. But those are all the damage outputs.
That's 4 medallions. We got them all.
But where's the chest?
If we find the hooded man, we'll find it.
Probably in Port Royal.
Why's that?
Organization 13 is after people's hearts, so they're gonna go wherever there's lots of people.
They'll hurt the townsfolk?
No, they're bringing them flowers, mate. I don't know who these organizers are, but I will say they're making we pirates look like proper gents.
Well, Jack. Then, we have to help.
Then let go and hold her run free!
Oh, you ready to die?
Go, he's for me.
Now, to break that curse.
So today you're going to be doing a Bob Ross painting tutorial.
What else? That's good!
You want me to keep up with
Omen and
And what's this?
Luigi. How's it going?
Oh, I understand. Jack must have been cursed by that monster, not from taking the gold.
Oh, I've no worries then.
It's okay, Jack. We'll just have to defeat the monster, that's all.
Oh, yes, they're ready for good bosses.
Get the gold!
Light!
No! Every time! Oh, yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3. After this one. Or after I do the Kingdom Hearts 3 is
Yeah. Take this. Yeah. Take it. Heal. Take this. Take this.
No.
Heal.
I'm just trying to get my drive back because I need that.
Back off.
I played this game so many times. I complete the, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's still things I don't know. I played the original PS2 version. I played the PS3. This is like my fifth over this game, I would say.
This is it. Yeah.
The fifth place.
Yeah.
will say Birth by Sleep was my first Kingdom Hearts game.
Give me strength! Back off! This is it! This is it! Yeah! Back off! Gather!
I actually don't know what mode I started playing this. I know I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 3 on console right now. Is it hard? It's just I don't pay attention half the time. I'll die because of something stupid. Also, Yoko mode on Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh, yeah, that was that wasn't bad. Sadly, I had to like stop streaming for Kingdom Hearts 3 on Cloud because good God, it was taking too long to get past the first area. You save.
Donald! Yeah. It's over. Yeah. Yeah. This is it. Give me strength. Yeah.
I'm probably playing on normal. Probably different. Can't remember. It's either normal or
all better.
Not quite, mate.
Hey, it's that boy.
Sora. Bravo.
Thank you. Oh wait, what? I thought we were gonna play a child's card game.
Just who was that chap?
He is part of an organization that's collecting hearts. First, they release Heartless into different worlds. We defeat those Heartless, then they get the hearts. We're never gonna stop them like this.
I know, right?
What's the plan, then?
We gotta find their stronghold and finish them off, once and for all.
Until they give me the answers.
Sailing these waters,
usually
I've
how it
heard
always
some
works.
tales. Not a one like this.
Is there any way we can help?
Nope.
Anything at all.
There is.
Well, not too much of a need for tips, huh? I don't know. There's still things I don't know how to do. I mean, sure, I played the game a bunch of times. Give me a wait. Did I? No, I don't think I have a. No, that was on the PS3. Oh, yeah, but I had maxed out all my.
It's
my
certain we
skills.
don't need the likes of that hooded fellow and the
all
heartless.
my drives.
They'll ruin
And I
the
was,
market
max
for us
level. I
true
was trying to fight
pirates.
Lingering Will.
So
How am I
that's why you
supposed
went
to
to
beat
Port
Lingering
Royal.
Will?
And we thought you actually wanted to
that would
save
be like
everyone.
the greatest tip ever.
Pirate always looks to
So I
profit.
got real
this
close, and then that man started
Too
doing
bad. He had us going there
some
thinking he'd
very
turned over a new
disrespectful
leaf.
things.
The question is, what's beyond the
Some
leaf?
very
Sammy?
disrespectful things.
Oh yes. A reward. And what'll it be?
That lovely blade of Sora's.
Huh? Okay, sure.
Yeah, oh yeah, in the like data.
Hold on,
in,
that was far too easy.
I want to say
What's
the data
the rub?
battles. I think. Go.
Ah, there you see.
For a party chat, I can give you.
Well, you've always got the pearl, Jack.
That I do. But someday
Sure,
I'll gather a
join in.
bloodthirsty crew and come
The
to
party
take that
chat
blade.
is
Chance by
open.
then,
I guess
I'll have
did.
the way to wield it. And if I succeed, I'll ask you two to join me. That'd be reward enough.
Done.
Maybe someday Jack will be able to use the Keyblade after all.
Why's that?
He and Sora are kind of alike, don't you think?
Are not.
I'm regretting the option of not being able to skip cutscenes. Oh, join. Let's say 16. Up to 16. Oh man, that's a lot of people. So.
Say, Jack Sparrow is the one
Now I'm hearing
to
two of
sail
you
the
and two of me.
Spanish
This is
Main.
fun.
No one can mean that.
Right.
I might want to mute the stream audio.
I hope we'll get to see him again.
There, now I can only hear me and you once. So no game audio. Okay, tips time. I guess the thing I originally started off with trying to give tips for was probably going to be Barbossa. How effortlessly you can just loop him indefinitely and just win. You don't have to worry about Jack Sparrow dying, because if he dies, you also lose. In that fight, it's really dumb.
And while we do,
But just like that cursed, thing you just beat, Barbossa really does not like Blizzard.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. With,
Immediately when you get to that fight, you'll end up with the Dark Room. You defeat the Heartless, go immediately to where the exit is, try to leave the room. But, of course you can't, but that's where the most moonlight is. When you're there, and you've lured him there, get him to go to the entrance area with you and corner him. When he's in that corner, all you do is Blizzard, attack a full combo, back off, wait for him to do the stagger. That means he's defrosted or he's not frozen anymore. You just Blizzard immediately when you see that in reaction time. Do a combo, Blizzard, reaction combo, Blizzard, Blizzard. If you run out of magic for Blizzard, I just go into a wisdom form and continue my Blizzard. Or if I don't want to use limit, or abilities like drive forms, I could just use an ether before I run out, because if you use an ether, when you're at MP recharge, it only recharges half of the MP. Whereas if you have at least one MP left in the bar that you can use, and you use an ether, it fully restores magic, which is an interesting property ether has. Now as for Lingering Will, there are some tips, depending on what method of tricks you're wanting to do to fight this guy. In what situation and how. The easiest way, if you don't care for a cheat or a cheese into beating the boss, and it's probably the most famously known trick now, but it's basically you have to get far enough where you've beaten Sephiroth first, and you've gotten the Fenrir key once you get the Fenrir key has the ability negative combo. This will be crucial for beating Lingering Will. Negative combo, yeah, you know what it does. Puts your combo to one less hit. Now, there will also be an ability that you get through leveling up called negative combo. Stack the effect of getting only negative combos. Now, you must remove all finisher abilities that you might have from your menu. Like, explosion is fine, I guess, but you want to get rid of your aerial combos. Get rid of everything, so that way the only attack you do is this strike downward. Because you don't want anything else. You don't even want additional finishers. You want only to be able to do one finisher, and that's the only combo you got is one hit. A one-hit finisher combo. Now once you have this move, Lingering Will, once you get him into that vulnerability state when you can actually wail on him, it's as easy as pushing Circle X, Circle X, Circle X, Circle X, Circle X until he's dead.
Sora, don't let him get away!
Because...
that's how I choose Sephiroth in my first playthrough.
So, it's kind of weird how it works. For some reason, negative combo and Fenrir doing this specific attack the way it works completely bypasses every rule in the book for Lingering Will on how his revenge values work, on how he retaliates or switches into a different phase at a certain point of HP. It's completely overruled and just like, no, you have to wait until I'm done attacking for it to do something. That, or if Lingering Will's back ends up against a wall, or like if you crash into a rock during your combos, he might break out of your little attack. So, Lingering Will has a series of moves, and since Lingering Will, every time you fight him, his AI in fighting style changes. It's random. He'll either start with these three moves in this fight phase, and then phase 2 he unlocks the other phases or fighting patterns. It depends, really. In phase 1, he can either do the cannon move, or he can do the boxing glove that'll punch you, or everybody's favorite and easiest and most predictable pattern is the 3 lunges he likes to do. He just flies up in the air and just swoosh, swoosh, and swoosh really quick. It's pretty predictable. You just dodge, dodge, and then on the third dash towards you, you dodge in the same direction as where he's going, so you're close to him when he lands, because the second he lands on his feet, he's vulnerable. You just jump, circle, and boom, you've got him in the combo. Just be sure to keep hitting him with your jump finisher over and over and over again. You'll go in a circle, so make sure you don't crash into any rocks or your combo kinda is, yeah, you could risk having him break out. But it's so easy, you can first try him once you've mastered and practiced it a few times. There's also another strategy you can do if you don't want to do it the cheating way and think, oh, I don't feel like I earned my win. Yeah, I would just pick either the Ultima weapon if you really want to earn that, or you can go for the Decisive Pumpkin Key, depending on your strategy. With the Decisive Pumpkin Key, if you have a 4-hit combo or 3-hit combo, yeah, the longer your combos, the more damage your key will do in the end. But I always stick to a specific amount of combos. I think it was 3 or 4, depending on what damage output I like to do. For this fight, yeah, I would just be sure to memorize every move that he does, and learn the timing to everything he does. Even the hard stuff, deliberately trying to get to the hard AI. Just because you can't win every time, because every time you get through enough of his HP, he is definitely going to change his fighting style, and your predictable looping patterns do not work anymore. He will switch it up on you, and it sucks. So in phase 1, it's usually the easiest, as long as he doesn't do his Keyblade flying around and turning it into a flying vehicle of death. it's pretty much easy that way. He will try to curse you on phase 1 too. That's a thing he can do. Cursing you to either, use no magic or no attacks.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing I was talking about, where he gets very disrespectful ends. I was fighting. Yeah. And then I got like hit with Doom or something, and I was like, oh wow. I was like, okay. I was like, whatever. They get this turned the game off at that point.
Now, another thing. You will have to keep 100% attention to his HP bar the entire fight. If you accidentally overlook it, thinking he's vulnerable, and you can do 1 or 2 combos in, because his revenge value is so wide. First of all, you have to remember how many hits you can do to this guy. Normally, I'm able to put in 2 explosion finishers and then stop attacking him. Or 2 or 3, depending on how many finishers and combo lengths you have. But once I do my finisher, I back off. I do not continue my attack. I wait for him to retaliate. If you did too much damage, he will retaliate you in mid-combo. And another thing is, even if you did it right, he could still punish you because you didn't pay attention to his HP bar. Because once he reaches a certain point of his HP bar, he will automatically retaliate, no matter what. Whether it was within the rule of hits, or where he doesn't retaliate, he will retaliate regardless. It's done. So what I like to do is when I know exactly what HP point that is, I would use Thunder. Just attack him from a distance, knowing he will retaliate. You gotta play it safe on that last 1 HP. Thunder him into his phase 2, and he will automatically retaliate, telling you, yep, he did it, yep, you did it. He's in phase 2, and his fighting style will change. It's up to you to adapt to whatever change he does. But if you remembered what he did in phase 1, you know what he would unlock for phase 2. The rest of his moves. Like the curse arrows that he shoots, turning his bow and arrow little keyblade fancy thing. That thing can happen a lot. I love that one, because it's super annoying and super scary. But once you master the timing on when to dodge roll, the second after the 3rd laser, the 3rd arrow shot, he's vulnerable. So I wail on him then. And then I can potentially sort of loop him to doing the arrow thing over and over and over again. Phase 3 is the easiest, but also the scariest. Because 1, your adrenaline's going and you lose focus easily. But he goes into his desperation move. Everybody is terrified of this thing. He will first do his little crazy move, charge at you. All you have to do is guard a few times. And once he disappears, jump, aerial dodge, and just glide as far away and as fast as you can. Because his second attack is going to be unblockable, unguardable, and you just have to outrun it. Not easy, but you do not have a lot of time to run away, so once you get very good distance, get your back against a wall. Because his 3rd assault for this ultimate desperation move he will do is teleport in all over directions. If you have your back against the wall, he's not going to be able to attack you from behind. He can't attack you from out of the battlefield. So sometimes you can guard, but because it hit you from a different angle, your guard didn't count, and you die. Oh. So back against the wall ensures he only has one direction to come at you from. So your guard is more likely to work. So you would guard his teleport slashes all over the place, and after you memorized his exact amount of moves, he will disappear one last time and do a spin surge, kind of like a fire surge in Birth by Sleep, but without fire. And massive hitbox. So he throws himself at you like that, but you can either dodge roll in the direction he's doing that move, so you can prepare to do a combo, because the second his feet land, he's vulnerable. But your window to attack is very, very short. And if you do enough damage, the exact amount, you can actually just keep him looping his desperation move over and over and over and over again until he's dead. It's predictable at that point. But you do need to do his desperation move millions of times just to get used to it. So you need to survive through most of the fight every single time to even practice the stupid thing. So take a few years of practice, but yay, there you go. But then there's the crazy berserk strat that I do that only insane people should ever try. This would be the critical level 1 strategy. This could probably work for levels higher than 1, but you are easily going to skip into his phase prematurely because you're doing much more damage. Oh, and also as you keep doing combo damage, you'll notice that your chips of damage that you're doing to this guy is very small at first. But after you do your second combo into him, you realize you're doing more and more and more damage to him with every hit. His defense value drops every time you hit him during that vulnerability phase. But when you're done with that, he will retaliate and his defense goes back up to max, which is really weird. It's all sorts of bizarre. But yeah, I guess this is the most complicated setup. You need to have limit form and master the ability of using items while you're in mid-attack at the same time as preparing Donald and Goofy's AI to give you items as support. So here's your setup. Get the Decisive Pumpkin out. Get yourself a combo plus. I think 1 was equipped for the strat. Just get a combo plus once you have a 4-hit combo. Make sure you have dodge slash disabled. It's useless in every fight in this game. Let's just say it just sucks. But you could also disable Slapshot just because it's a quick move. That's just kind of whatever. Might throw off your timing and rhythm. But it's not... Yeah, you could if you wanted to. You could keep it on. But immediately when the fight starts, you'd also want to have maxed out your party members with, Mega Ethers. You need to have Ethers, Mega Ethers, or Elixirs or something. Give them all to Donald and Goofy. Max them all out. You have to go to customize and set Donald and Goofy's AI patterns to Sora attack. This will allow Donald and Goofy not to attack the enemy. Instead, their sole focus is to support Sora. So when your NP or HP is low, what do? Items. They will focus on using those items for you, much more likely than they would than just by default AI. So what I like to do with that is basically you also have to stock yourself up with Ethers and Elixirs. Or whatever else have you. You can, whatever's easiest for you. If you want to grind and farm for Elixirs, Mega Ethers, there you go. You can take the time to do that. So once the fight starts, you want to get him into his phase 1 vulnerability point. This would be whatever he randomizes to do. The second he's vulnerable, here's the hard part. Instead of using your combos to attack like Sliding Dash, as convenient as it is to reach an enemy quickly from far away, what you want to do is completely different. You want to get his vulnerability to last much longer than that. But to do so, your first strike is actually to be going into limit form. So you gotta go over the drive, go to limit form, prepare it, and the second his feet land on the ground for a vulnerable window, you have to be practically physically touching him, or at least very close. So when you use limit form, it will launch him up into the air with damage. While he's up in the air from your transformation, you need to immediately use Ether and go into an Arcanum. The reason why you use Ether before Arcanum, even though your MP's at max, is a little glitch. A little, not a glitch, but an exploit. Have you ever noticed if you've thrown an item up into the air, it takes a second or so for the item to take effect? It's slower than Cure with Heal. It's just like, okay, throw it up in the air, you're waiting for an animation, heal, there it is. Well, because of that, you want to use the Ether first into an Arcanum. Your MP will deplete before you heal MP. So once you've used Arcanum, your MP's at max still, and you're just wailing on him with this combo. Now, if you don't know how the revenge value works, the revenge value is interesting. Your combos can have workarounds to them, but every hit you do adds up to that invisible value that you can't see. Either you do the math in your head, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus finishers, or plus 7 or whatever else have you. Plus 5, it doesn't matter what the values are, just remember that if each boss has their own revenge value number, if that number is exceeded with your hits, they're going to counter, they're going to retaliate. In this case, we want to exploit this as much as possible. Arcanum is the most definite scary thing. You have to use your Arcanum attack while he's vulnerable, but you have to wait for his feet to touch the ground before you use Arcanum. Once his feet touch the ground and you use Arcanum after you've used your Ether, you have to use 5 bash attacks, but do not spam triangle for the finish. The finish has a very, very high counter to the retaliation. You are sure to be punished for using finisher, so don't use that. Immediately after you used 5 bashes and you stop mashing triangle, mash X into your combos. You'll do the Sora's regular attack, and then once he uses his Zantetsuken, or the move in limit form where he puts his Keyblade in a reverse grip and slashes through Terra, before you use the second finisher, which is that big orb of light that launches enemies upward, you want to go into another Arcanum. Just Zantetsuken into Arcanum immediately. You have to be fast with your button movement here. After 5 more bashes, do another Zantetsuken combo into another Arcanum. 5 bashes, Zantetsuken, and just repeat the pattern over and over and over again. You could indefinitely keep Lingering Will in an indefinite, infinite combo, so long as you have the drive gauges, and so long as you have the magic to keep your Arcanums going. But that's where Donald and Goofy came in. When your MP is low, they will automatically throw an item at you. But your party member also disappears, and the members disappear when you're using Arcanum, but then they reappear immediately after, so they're in their neutral state, which increases their AI patterns to say, so I'm throwing Ether at you. It's pretty interesting how it works. It doesn't work 100% of the time, but it works pretty well. You can watch how your enemy, you can skip the entire first phase with this trick. I love it so much. It's not easy, but it is definitely the easiest way to handle Lingering Will, the quickest way. That just utterly destroys them. But of course, all things must come to an end. Your limit form runs out of gauges really quickly. When you're using Zantetsuken into an Arcanum, whenever you do powerful damage like that, the drive gauge just goes down. Really quick. So once that happens, I basically would just use Thunder until he goes into phase 2. He will either disappear shooting those laser things that surround you, or he'll do his little whip counterattack or 3 lunges. But from there you just have to pay attention and adapt. I would use phase 2 to just loop, damage him, to get my gauges back up. Once I get my gauges back up to as high as I can get them, I can use that for Phase 3 to do another limit into an Arcanum and skip most of Phase 3. It's hard. It is really hard. But this is for those who want to do the level 1 version of this fight. It's not easy. It really isn't. But yeah, I think I've rambled on about that one way too long. There's just so much detail to this fight. I'm sure there's no way you could even cram that all into your head all in one go either. It's more of a learning process.
Yeah. You know what I did for Sephiroth was I got, what was it? The one Keyblade you get from doing the Underworld tournament thing, whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it's called. I got that because Berserk is the greatest thing ever. And I was just doing that for 20 minutes, and I was like, yeah, one.
Yeah, I never use the Berserk strategies ever. I don't know why. I just don't use Berserk.
And who asked
It's
you?
good for some.
Hurry!
For some enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Because it had gotten to the point where I died too many times, so I was like, okay. And I was playing with my friend. I was watching, and I was like, watch this. It will tell you exactly every single move he's gonna do. And watch me still die.
I found another way to loop Sephiroth really good that doesn't require Berserk. Just grab the Decisive Pumpkin key and set your combos to a certain number. But once you get it all set up, basically what will happen is he will do his obvious press triangle first thing. He's vulnerable to an immediate combo. Once you do just one combo with only one finisher of an explosion, back off, watch him fly up into the air. He'll bounce back, and once his feet are on the ground, he will try to do that combo swing at you. You just guard, counter, into a combo, explosion, stop attacking, he'll bounce back, he'll do his swing combo every time. You can just guard, counter, one combo finisher with just explosion to finish. He'll bounce back, guard, counter, it's a rinse and repeat until he's into his know your place phase. And he'll start spamming Dark Balls. But he can also sometimes even go back into the loop after enough damage, which is cool. So you can loop a good chunk more into phase 2. Obviously Reflect does great with the Dark Orbs. Give into the dark and all that spam and the stuff he does, it's dumb. Of course, there's also do not get too close to Sephiroth at times after combos. Keep your distance at least a little bit, because he does love to do his fire pillars and pull you in. Descend, Heartless Angel, whatever he does there, you need to be able to, you know, jump up high enough. I love using retaliating slash combos where I push X to start the combo and then I just push square, 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 square for a good 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then just do a finisher into a magnet burst. It's my favorite way to take him out. I also have to remember if he disappears, he's likely going to do that teleport slash you up into the air into another combo. You can either predict it and know how to guard that very well, of which practicing that is pretty hard. Reaction timing needs to be really good. Or if you do get launched up into the air, time your reaction with retaliating slash or the counter slash. You can just get him into a free combo up in the air. So that move isn't all too bad. And it doesn't do serious damage to you. Even level 1 you could survive it a few times.
Right about now, your precious Aladdin is whispering your name with his last
So, yeah, I think Sephiroth is actually very easy compared to the Data boss fights.
What was that you were saying, Jafar?
Oh, yeah, I tried that. I think I did. I want to say I got past 2 or 3 of them. I can't remember which ones they were, though.
Now, were they the Data battles, or were they actually just the absent silhouette battles?
The Data battles. The silhouette ones were like, that was kind of easy. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Some of them were like, oh, I just need to go level up real fast to get my damage up, because I was like, I know me, I don't pay attention half the time. So I was like, yeah, I was like, let me go get my damage up really fast.
So my favorite trick is with Marluxia. That Data boss fight, it's fun.
Oh, I hated that.
Doing it critical level 1 is scary though, but once you know how to do a little trick, it makes it much easier, but it's not easy. By any means still, but it just makes it much easier from impossibly hard to at least very hard. And so what happens is, you know that one move that he'll try to do, once you reach a certain amount of HP, he'll go into another phase where he will actually teleport to the center of the room and do his little purple, platforms everywhere. I guess there's a point, there's like 1 frame of vulnerability he has. If you can anticipate it, you can loop him in this phase. You can either use Genie in Wisdom form in the center of the stage where every frame is going to do damage, so the second he teleports to the center, you got a free combo in. Oof, and he cancels out that move, and you can just do your regular thing, and he'll try it again. You just keep spamming Genie into that spot until Genie runs out. But there's another way to save your drive, and that is just use fire. Using fire in the center stage, if you know how to time it right whenever he disappears. Perfect timing is key, you need to practice it. You can loop him into doing the same thing over and over again. It's pretty fun. There's also another strategy. This is the funnest one because it makes quick work out of it. This works in both the original fight and the Data fight. I don't know if you know about it, but it involves the Saïx fight.
Yeah.
The good old Peter Pan trick. You know the Peter Pan trick?
No, because I rarely use summons. I do remember that's like the one thing I never got around to using. Summons.
Well, summons will be your absolute best friend for this fight. He's even easier in the Data boss fight than he is in the original boss fight. I'm sure even you could critical level 1 this guy with a little rehearsal practice. And you'll think this is the easiest thing ever. What happens? Well, Saïx, let's just say Saïx is a straight up scaredy cat. He's a wimp. He's afraid of Peter Pan. Terrified. What happens is, in the Data version of the boss fight, instead of the original fight is, he immediately goes into his berserk phase and he's all over the place, he's crazy. The Data fight, he just walks up and just turns around and praises at the moon for a minute, charging up the berserk gauge, giving you free time to attack him. Easy stuff, right? During this phase, you can completely skip him from recharging the berserk, and he'll never go berserk. He will never even get a chance to attack you. Ever. What happens is, that immediately when the fight starts, summon Peter Pan. Just remember, if you use summons, and if the summoned character gets hit, they can take damage too, which is interesting. It drops your drive gauge every time they get hit. So pay attention to that. But if you do this right, you don't have to worry about them taking damage. So what you gotta do is immediately summon Peter Pan when you have control of the character. When you do, Sykes will be praising the moon about it. It's going, yeah, Kingdom Hearts, so lovely. So you go up there and you just, all you gotta do is push Circle X. And you've got, it's kind of the same thing as the Lingering Will boss fight, effortless and easy. Just Circle X, Circle X, Circle X, Circle X, Circle X. But you have to time it right. You have to be quick with your Circle X, which is really quick. Make it a very, very short jump and into a very quick X attack. If it's that spiral backflip move that he does, that is what usually, yeah, that's what usually happens unless you don't have the ability equipped. But what happens is Peter Pan's jabs. Every time you attack, Peter Pan does this jab, 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 jab. And for some reason that jabbing poke that he does keeps Sykes in a constant and continuous stagger, giving you time to jump and attack again, and jump and attack again. He gets him stuck there. So you just jump, attack, jump, attack, jump, attack, until he's at 1 HP. At 1 HP, instead of Circle X, you would need to push Circle X square. The retaliating slash will keep you in mid-combo, and it counts as a finisher too, so it ends the boss fight. It's very interesting. Or you can just use magic to finish him off from a distance, or just keep mashing X throughout the whole combo if you really don't feel like pushing square ever. For whatever reason. It is absolutely hilarious to humiliate Sykes over and over again to farm those items you get from the data boss fights.
Yeah! One super duper spruced up Agrabah coming right up. You won't even recognize the place when I'm through with it.
Just like it was, please.
Really? Same old, same old? Alright.
But yes, I have definitely played this game a lot.
Hey, voila! Next time,
Honestly, the only
swimming
Kingdom
pools,
Hearts game
okay?
I've played the most is what? Birth by Sleep. I played each mode because again, essentially I played it until I couldn't buy a PSP anymore, and I was like, no.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, like, you behave yourself. I was so close to getting everything.
Whoopsie.
Oh, no, that was like, I played that for life. That was the best.
Once I played Kingdom Hearts 1, I was hooked. I went ahead and I went nuts. As of right now, I have 99 save slots on Kingdom Hearts 1. Multiple, on all 99 save slots are used. They're all used for different challenges, different ways of playing the game. Different restrictions, different this and that's, and also 100% completions on both the Proud Mode Final Mix Edition, I guess. There was no critical mode in for the first game. There was a level 1 version and a level 99, or in this case, 100 version. 100% completed on the hardest difficulties. And once I did that, I never went back to the easy difficulties. I've always stayed on the hardest one. It was critical mode for Kingdom Hearts 2. I ended up with 99 save slots on the PS2, with several of them with the max timer. The timer was maxed out. It couldn't count any higher. Okay.
Well, you've done it again, Sora.
But then, eventually, the PS3 came around with their HD remixes of these things. Did the same thing. 99 saves of Kingdom Hearts 2 later, here I am with PS4 doing the same thing again. I'm at 80 saves for the PS4. I have played this game almost literally thousands of times. Over and over and over and over, with every challenge and restriction. I love this game to bits. Woo! So my most recent restrictions are, my most difficult one was a critical level 1 for this game, but with no abilities.
Oh.
It was very difficult, I'll tell you that, but because I knew how every fight goes, the most infuriating part was to not have scan and knowing how much the HP of every enemy was. That was heartbreaking. Being unable to dodge roll, being unable to guard, it absolutely sucked. Through and through. But the hardest part was definitely the Roxas fight. You practically need guard or dodge roll or quick run dash. You need these abilities to stay alive. Fortunately, the non-data fight doesn't require that you use glide to get through his crazy desperation move that shoots orbs everywhere. All you gotta do is just run in a circle on the edges of the stage. It's just barely fast enough to dodge it. But that's all I could do. That or spam all of my reflect until I'm all out of magic. But I need my reflect for everything else, since I don't have guard or dodge roll. I don't have anything. Roxas was the absolute most painful part of the fight. It took me a long time to beat Roxas. It drove me insane, so I don't recommend anyone ever do it. Mainly for the reason is, I watched you know Bloody Biscuits, the king of this game.
What, this? It's just a costume.
The world record holder for speed runs and countless variations of playing this game. Well, Bloody Biscuits is the world's greatest player, to most people it seems, on this game. World records were held by him, probably still is. I haven't been up to date with him lately, but there was a stream that I recalled. Someone asked him to do a no abilities critical level 1 challenge. But he said, no, I don't feel like doing it, no way. I was like, really? It's the one thing you haven't done. I wonder if he's done it by now. But I went challenge accepted, and it was the stupidest decision.
Wherever did you find these?
Almost immediately it was regrettable.
You'll be needing them for Christmas, right?
I pulled through though. To be one of the first and very few people to ever do this challenge.
Stolen?
If any at all. So I was super happy to actually do that.
Still wearing the outfit,
but I did say never again.
I just thought I'd dress for the occasion.
No, I will just play this casually. Critical level 1. Easy peasy mode.
The only
If you
thing I
consider
ever
level
did
1 easy.
when I played any of them was I just kept the base Keyblade. I never switched over to
Oh yeah,
any of the other ones.
that's a great casual restriction there. It's enjoyable.
And that was a tough thing to do because I had to play. Well, no, I kind of cheated for Kingdom Hearts 3 because you can equip 3 separate Keyblades. But I was like, primary Keyblade has no choice but to be the Kingdom Key, and then I went with the one you get from Tangled and the one you get from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah, it's a great.
Because by far those were like, I think they're the strongest in separate stats.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Which
is that
insane.
high wind, that key when it transforms into the storm flag, ooh, it can do some great damage, especially for Dark Inferno. Dark Inferno,
Oh.
that key's a favorite for most. And then, of course, the Ever After key, Kingdom of Corona stuff. It has an incredible base magic stat. That can be exploited very well with links.
Yes.
It breaks the game. It's a game breaker.
Oh, no. They're just simply the best. I want to say, I told my friend that. He was like, really? I was like, yeah, these are the best. I was like, Highwind? My guy? Highwind saves lives. I was like, because, I mean, I played, what did I play? I played on standard, because I just play on standard just so I can get through the game real fast. And then I'll play on a hard difficulty after that. But yeah, I was like, Highwind was, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, really? I was like, yes. I was like, you should test it out, man. It's like the greatest thing you'll ever use. And just the Kingdom of Corona key was just, in my opinion, it has amazing crowd control, which is very necessary in Kingdom Hearts 3.
What method of key do you use? Are you just mashing X to attack?
Oh no, normally it's the little dodge and then box. It's
yeah, that's
the
how
dodge
you do it.
and then and then mashing X after that.
Yeah, when creating the 5 Sora clones and then you just smash X, watch that HP drop. It's so satisfying.
Oh yeah. I've won boss fights with that. I was like, bro. I'm like, they need the. I was like, I don't want them to, but I was like, I feel like they're gonna like nerf that because that's just too strong.
If you think that needs nerfing, Ralph needs nerfing. It instantly ends the Kingdom of Corona fight with Mother Gothel as the ugly tree. It ends that fight instantly. It wrecks and destroys the Abomination and Monstropolis. And it's a great way to walk through walls and get out of bounds and glitch the crap out of this game. Wreck-It Ralph not only wrecks the internet, but he wrecks Kingdom Hearts 3. You go turbo with this guy. I don't know. Of course, I have a good record, a speedrun record for the first 13 Xehanorts fight in Kingdom Hearts 3. 25 seconds at a critical level 1. How was this possible, you might ask? Well, you just need the Ultima weapon, or you can use the Corona's key, the Ever After. You need to get a very, very high magic stat. And immediately when you do, you have to go the specific route and fight the Xehanort 13, Xehanort clones in Scala Kylum for the first fight. This first fight is the easiest of all the fights. You just have to make sure you go a specific path and do not trigger the spawning of these Xehanorts until you reach an exact spot. I reach around to the straight ahead to the left and climb up the stairs. I turn right, and up the stairs there will be a manhole little area, a little spot where they spawn. I summon, with the links, I summon Simba. Immediately march in there, and all I do, the second they spawn and I'm in the center of that area, finish. Since the Xehanort bosses here all share 1 HP bar, you're using this ultimate explosion finisher of Simba to do damage. A lot of damage, not just once, but you're hitting the same HP bar 13 times. They all share the same HP bar, so you're hitting them all if you time it right. And it's ridiculous how much damage that does. since they will not die the first time, I immediately go into a elixir, and then into the Link Simba again, and do another finisher immediately after. After 2 finishers, game over. I was like, ooh, what? This fight is done really quick. Of course, the final Xehanort fight that you do, his weakness is Stitch. Immediately when the fight starts, he will be in the sky, say you're at war or judgment, depending on which part of that first meteor strike he does. Immediately when you have control of Sora, you just need to air step up to him and use links. Air step, link Stitch, and then he just spawns little plasma laser triangles around him. Once he does his second meteor attack, use the finisher. Watch the HP bar drop really quick. Of course, this one does take a lot of practice, and it's not exactly the easiest thing to do. But when it works, it's really great. You can do massive amounts of damage. And everybody is super annoyed of the amount of fights you do in this game. A bunch of Shadow Heartless everywhere. And that giant tower of shadows. Oh. With the tornado of nonsense. When you're in that Keyblade graveyard and you're fighting that thing, its weakness is aerial. Link and use aerial, just jump and use the splash a lot. The HP bar will go down ridiculously quick. You could probably even skip its berserk phase and just end the fight immediately. Depending on your level anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. So I want to say what the first playthrough, I beat the game. It was 36 hours. I was like level 36, 37. I think. I don't know. All I know is I beat the game really fast, and I was disappointed.
Yeah.
I told my friend, I was like, they said this game was 80 hours. I was like, why'd I beat it in like 2 days?
Well, everybody did notice that Kingdom Hearts 3's difficulty was on the easy side compared to the rest of the series.
Oh, yeah.
And they only released a Proud mode. I was a little bit on disappointed side. It was a fun game nonetheless, but I wanted a challenge. I kind of promised to always do the hardest difficulty, and when they announced the release of Critical Mode, I lost it. I went nuts. I deleted every single one of my 9 saves and started over, because I said I only do the hardest difficulty. That's how it goes, so bye-bye to all 9 Proud Mode saves with completion of everything. Just delete it all and start over. And I was happy to do that, for crying out loud. I was going to do 99 saves of this game, but no, I'm only limited to 9. Please expand to more save slots. I would happily use them.
Oh, that's right. I used to. Okay. I remembered what my magic was.
Okay.
There it is. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I never use Blizzard. That's right. Why is that even in there? Yes, it's always reflect, thunder, magnet, and cure. Greatest. That's the greatest.
Yeah, Magnet is great, especially when you're using the Trinity or Genie. Because, turns out, Magnet is interesting. It does damage, but only once, and it does collective damage as the enemies are spinning. But if you use Magnet and use Genie at the same time, or immediately after anyway, you'll watch how it does much more damage than it would normally do with one or the other. Because what happens is when you do a hitbox, for some reason it knocks them out of the magnet and does a pull damage again. It's doing a lot more damage with knockout, pull, knockout, pull, knockout, pull, and you realize, ooh, magnet into a genie is doing a lot of damage. This could also be the case for when you're doing Trinity Limit with all three of your partners on your side, Donald and Goofy. Normally this attack, the attacks that you do no damage with those three specials that you can do with the buttons that you push. And then you push the second time and you do that finisher that does do damage. But if you use Magnet first, watch how the moves that do no damage are suddenly doing damage along with your Magnet. It's an interesting mechanic how Magnet works. Reflect is incredibly OP. Love it. For obvious reasons. And in this game, Stitch is super reliable.
I want to say, but the first summon I used was Genie. Because Genie was just great.
You just have to get used to changing his forms.
Yeah. And Chicken Little.
Yes, Chicken Little's excellent for early game when you don't have Magnet yet. For Point Royal, yeah, that plays. You'll need Chicken Little for the pirates. It pulls them all in. It makes it so easy. Stitch is great for the Demyx fight in Hollow Bastion, Radiant Garden, whatever. He keeps your MP at practically infinite. And if you're in a critical tight spot, some attacks are deflected. And he can use his ukulele to stun or stagger enemies while dropping HP orbs, things like that. But Stitch can also be used in the Colosseum for picking up a lot of orbs to get those high scores for the Jiminy's Journal completion. If you're in a critical HP mode that you deliberately put yourself into and summon Stitch, he will continuously and constantly, indefinitely, as long as your HP's in critical, keep using the ukulele and they keep dropping those orbs without depleting the HP. You can make ridiculous amounts of orbs to beat those high score challenges. However, with Stitch, your HP's slow. Yeah, it heals itself over time, but incredibly slowly. It takes a long time, and you're just standing there as it's raining orbs. Yay! But once your HP stops making that stupid siren noise, Stitch stops using the ukulele, and you have to basically get her back into critical HP for him to continue doing that. Yeah, but it's great. Stitch is amazing. Peter Pan allows you to die and be brought back, as well as healing HP over time. So Peter Pan's a really good summon just for the fact that you can die twice. And for instantly making cakewalk out of Syx. Duck Flare and also Donald's Comet limit attacks are broken. All of Goofy's are useless.
It looks like it was such a nice present.
Jack.
Oh, how
I do like Jack Skellington's Link, or Limit Attack. It's pretty good. During things like the Finkelstein's experiment and also the shot. So, yeah. Too late for that one. Woohoo! There's an interesting bug in the PS4 version of the experiment fight too. During a certain phase of the fight where the enemy does a certain attack and you die in a very specific way, the game just crashes. And you have to restart the game. So I would definitely save to take precaution. It's not likely that it happens all the time. It's kind of very hard to do it on purpose. But it's happened to me once or twice. But me, I'm obsessed with saving often, so I don't have problems.
I've only had one game where I died and the game crashed, and that was what, the Surge. I was playing and I was like, okay, let's go. And somehow I died and the whole game just crashed, and I was like, what just happened? And I was like,
whoopsie.
Oh. And I was like, how? I was like, it's not even a physical copy, it's a digital copy. I'm like, there shouldn't be any game-breaking glitches like that.
Well, I've had games crash on me for no reason.
Oh, yeah. Like, what was another game I had like that? Like, what was it? It was Lego Star Wars, original Xbox. That was painful. That was real painful. I was like, let's go, and then what was I doing? I think it was on I was about to beat the game. Like, I'd stayed up all night. I was grinding away, trying to get the last little bit for the boss, so I could get all the actual crap and stuff. And then I'm fighting, and the game is, and you know, Xbox had its little system glitches and whatnot, where essentially you'd be playing and then the game would just freeze for no reason, and you'd have to restart your entire system. So I'm like hours in, and I'm like, no.
Oops. You keep trying to get the puzzle piece. But yeah, you can just do a quick run. You maintain your altitude until the quick run is over, and then you can do an aerial dodge, and then, if you really wanted to, aerial dodge into a fire. That extends your aerial distance. Using fire or reflect is a great way to maintain distance as you do all that stuff. And there's that Land of Dragons area where, in the Emperor's Palace, there are those two little puzzle pieces where you have to use glide to get to them. You can get there without glide, but it's ridiculous. It's weird.
Not quite. There's more?
At first, I always
I'll
stuck
take
to
care
having
of the
Donald
rest.
and Goofy in my party at all times. It's like I didn't care about the other characters. But Critical Level 1 really forces you to get creative with your ideas.
So, where do you think we ought to leave
So, using Mulan for the rocket limit attack, especially during things like the Shan Yu boss fight, and not very difficult parts. You know, there's a lot of morale gauge parts of the game that were pretty tricky.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can barely get the daylight puzzle piece in the Emperor's Palace by just jumping aerial dodge into another reflect to extend your reach, and you'll barely reach that one puzzle piece. But there's the other puzzle piece where it looks like it's much farther away and you need glide for it. That one, this one's tricky. You just gotta preemptively set up your drive to a certain form. If you don't have final form, that's great, you don't need it. It's just easier with it. If you want to get it early to get that puzzle piece for the great rewards that you can get for them, try Wisdom Form. You have to jump, double jump, and then use Limit Form, and then just spam fire, 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 and you'll glide straight toward the puzzle piece. But it takes a little bit of a tricky setup. Same thing with Beast's Castle. You can set up with the jump, Wisdom Form into fire, fire, fire as your form of temporary gliding in this game. Beast's Castle has 2 puzzle pieces that you can do to get those high up pieces. Twilight Town's another one, where you have that steep hill running all the way down to the main part of town or up to the station. That one that's really high up, then you need glide for. The same principle applies for that one too. You just need to have Master Form maxed out in level and be able to high jump and double jump, and there you go. But it's just practice makes perfect, I guess. I was saving for Kingdom Hearts 3 ever since Kingdom Hearts 2 on the PS2. Did not realize I would be waiting a long time.
I've got it all figured out.
I wasn't in the big weight train. I was in
And
more
I
of
also have a wonderful idea.
5-year weight train. Because I didn't jump on Kingdom Hearts until
And on that note, we'll be going.
middle school.
Well, since Kingdom Hearts 3, and since Kingdom Hearts 2, I mean, I think it was coincidentally a 13-year wait. No more, you did this on purpose, I tell you. Coincidence. Shoot. But, yeah, basically, I waited a long time for this game. I remember leakers, or supposed internet phony baloney liars, talking about Kingdom Hearts 3. I was in a press conference room where they actually showed gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Wii. Ooh, that crisp 480p. We got ourselves a glimpse of fighting the Kraken in a return to Port Royal. At least that part turned out to be true, but I bet you that wasn't even anything remotely to truth. It was just a guess if you fight the Kraken. Well, you do, but sort of.
Yeah, it's like...
You saw...
It was like how Final Fantasy 15 was supposed to be on the PS3. That was a good one right there. Oh, they were like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy 15 was like teased in like 2010?
Yeah, it was teased for a long time.
They were like, oh yeah, we're gonna... And the big thing was, they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna put Final Fantasy 13 or 15 out as soon as Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. And I was like, I was like, okay. I was like, I don't see that happening, but... Because we're like, oh yeah, because for one thing, they were making them around the same time, supposedly. Because they had a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
And yeah, with like the releasing everything like I hit triangle, stop lying.
Well, during my 13 years, I never stopped saving for Kingdom Hearts 3. I didn't stop. My savings grew and grew to the point of ridiculous amounts of cash. I was prepared to buy a special edition. That was legit.
That was my
I ended up... but when I finally got a confirmation on an official release date, I said, that's it, shut up and take my money. What I ended up doing was probably going farther beyond than anybody else has ever gone far beyond before. I wonder who else has done this, but basically what I did was I bought a second PS4. It was a PS4 Pro, and so I can just play it in a 4K setting, or at least the so-called upscaled 1080p to 4K. And also just for the load times and everything else, I wanted the most optimal experience. I bought a 4K TV the size of my bed. I ended up buying 2 pieces of $350 of furniture each to put this TV on. I got a gaming LED lit setup, so it's all fancy. I then had to go and do the stupid. I went ahead and thought, you know what? I'll do a Let's Play. Let's try streaming and playing and recording on YouTube all the games in this series. We'll play through every last one of them up to 3, just to commemorate the occasion.
Yeah, I was gonna do that. I stopped as soon as I got the 2. And I'm just continuing my my playthrough of the game.
But unlike most people who just say, we're not going to watch the 3-hour movies, Days and Recoded, they don't include those. I wanted to personally include both Days and Recoded. I wanted those games in the Let's Play. So what did I do? I went ahead and bought myself a plane ticket to Japan. Okay, a Tokyo trip. To go to a nice little place they call the Katsukiri shop. There, I modded my, there was a soldered chip to my 3DS circuit board. Now my 3DS is custom modded. This thing cost me a crap ton. Good $260 just to put the chip in.
I'd like to thank you.
But basically that allowed me to have a video and audio output through micro USB and a privately licensed software to actually, display my 3DS recordings, or basically I can have my 3DS displayed on a laptop or PC now. And with that I was able to use like OBS recordings and record my DS gameplay of these games instead of just pull out a cheap camera and hope the lighting's good. I wanted that picture-perfect quality in audio. So it was worth my $6,000 to do it.
It ran away on its own. In other words,
It was that kind of a thing.
was an overwhelming success.
I went ahead and got my Let's Plays done, but that's not all. I went ahead and also, basically, you know the Nintendo Switch and how it's able to switch from TV to dock mode and to handheld, and it's great. I had the same inspirational concept with my 3DS. I basically and literally turned my 3DS into a Switch, but that plays 3DS games.
I feel sort of bad for it.
I built a custom-built Switch dock for the 3DS. I slide it in. It plugs in those video and charging cable ports. And now it's automatically on my big screen TV through an HDMI output from the PC. So it's kind of weird. It requires a PC that's on for this to work. But at least I'm able to just dock the 3DS and play it on the TV. Instead of using the 3DS as a controller, I have modded it for a custom firmware, so I'm able to use input redirection and use a PS4 controller to control the 3DS.
Right.
Which is really cool. So
Thank
now
you,
I can play
Sally.
my
You're
3DS on the
absolutely right.
couch while it's docked up
Wait,
over there by the gaming
this?
setup.
I feel so
It's awesome.
strange. So very
Not only
happy.
that, but I have it set up so that the touchpad on the PS4 controller is a mouse cursor. I was able to use that to implement stylus or touchscreen controls. And able to also push buttons to toggle top screen or bottom screen, full screen, things like that. I had full control of everything without needing to use the controller. Everything except for the microphone, and I at one point had gyroscope from the controller to work, but my PC kind of just exploded one day and stopped working, and I had to reinstall everything, but now the gyroscope just won't work anymore. But it's not like I needed it that badly anyway.
Maybe I
For
never
a
gave her a
3DS.
real present after all.
But it was the most awesome experience to be able to just play a 3DS on your couch using the real TV and not actually need the 3DS at all.
It's not your gift, it's what's in your heart.
My heart.
But yeah, after all of that,
What else does she need?
of course I had to get the Japanese 7-Eleven Keyblade DLC. Of which you would have to go to Japan for that, or wait until just recently, sort of, for the DLC to be released on a PlayStation Store for a few bucks. I was like, really? Really? Fine. The only Keyblade I don't have is the Xbox one, because I don't have the Xbox version of this game. Nor do I have an Xbox. So, that's a thing.
I want to say I got, the PS4 edition of the Keyblade, I think, I don't know. I know I pre-ordered it on Amazon, and I bought, all the Kingdom Hearts games for the PS4, which I don't regret. A few other people said I was crazy for doing that because I already owned the games on the PS3, and they're like, why'd you buy them again? And I was like, leave me alone. I was like, it's the same reason I bought the Dark Souls trilogy.
Hey,
when I
I
already
did the
owned all
same
3
thing.
games and all the DLC.
Yes.
I
buy this game 100 times.
I went back and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I literally just bought the DLC for Dark Souls 3. Why'd I buy the game again? I was like, no. And I was like, it's too late. I was like, I've already bought it. I'm not taking it back. It's too late now. It's like it's the same reason I tell people why I have 3 copies for, 3 or 4 copies of the first Final Fantasy 13 game.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, the Xbox messed up my disc. So, no, because literally, the first, I have 2 copies of Final Fantasy 13 on the 360. And both of those copies have rings on disc 2, meaning I can't play the game from the very beginning at all, which sucks. So I bought a copy for the PS3. My friend was like, you have 5 copies of this game, stop it. And I was like, you don't understand. I was like, you don't understand.
No. Clearly not.
I was like, this game here. I was like, 13.
It's my baby.
Yeah, I tell most people, they're like, your first Final Fantasy game will always be your favorite Final Fantasy game, regardless. So I'm in the group of people who, even though the first half of that game is a really, really, really pretty straight line, it's amazing. And I always I have one friend who's like, yo, Final Fantasy 13 is boring. I was like, you played 10. I was like, you do realize how linear 10 is. He was like, yeah, but 10 wasn't boring. I'm like, you do realize that 10 was literally a straight line of graphics, right? I was like, the only thing that made it special is that people were talking. And he's like, leave me alone. I'm like, okay.
Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Yeah, I hyped for that. I don't know if I'm gonna buy the big special edition because I don't want to drop that much money on it. I really don't want to, because that's what I wanted to do for the Kingdom Hearts 3, but I was like, no, because I was gonna get the Kingdom Hearts 3 PS4 because I wanted that. But they waited too long. They waited so long to release the price. So I was like, you know what? I can't wait any longer. I'm just go ahead and pre-order the game. And then they dropped the price like literally after I pre-ordered, and I was like, I hate all of you.
Oh man. Well, I was upset because I wanted the Kingdom Hearts 3 PS4 theme, but to get that I needed to buy the all-in-one $100 bundle. You mean I have to buy all of the games $100 again for a freaking theme? Wow, that's where I kind of said, I'm sorry, I gotta stop. I've already spent $6,000 or so thousand on everything else. You want me to spend another $100 for a theme and a digital copy of all the games I already own?
Yeah.
Come on, it's not that
My friend was like, I was
enjoyed
crazy for
that
wanting
we did
the
Elephant
Final
we had
Fantasy
yesterday.
15 Autumn Edition.
How's Simba?
And I was like, bruh. I was like, you don't understand.
No.
I was like, you don't understand. I was like, this is everything.
Ooh, say it again.
And it's $20. Because I already bought the game.
One more time.
Yeah, discounts.
Yeah, it was like, what was it? It was like when I found Dark Souls 2 Scholars of the First Sin. Because again, I have all the Dark Souls games. And I saw that and I was like, $20. I was like, and it said brand new. I was like, $20? I was like, are you sure? Are you sure that's the right price?
Yeah, I bet about now even some of those
It's like,
This looks legit.
yeah, it was like how I managed to get Guitar Hero Live for $20.
Let's go find Simba and see.
And it came with the guitar and the game, because you know GameStop doesn't like to price things properly. So this bundle sickness had $20 on it. And I was like, you guys are stupid. I was like, that's a $200, almost $200 purchase. I was like $20. I was like, okay. I was like, that's fine.
We better tell Simba about this.
And I told the guy after I bought it, I was like, you do realize that this isn't the right price, right? And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm gonna just go, you know. I'm like, you're actually a little short. He was like, what do you mean short? I was like, go look it up. That was a great day right there.
Score.
But yeah, I did the same thing with Rock Band 2. Someone didn't know how much it was, and they sold me their guitar, the drum, the mic, and the game for $15. And I was like, bruh. I was like, you're insane.
I think you're missing some details here. I don't think it's $15.
I was like, 15? I was like, sure, thanks.
I should just keep my mouth shut to keep the deal.
And I went back and looked it up. I was like, 120? I was like, huh. I was like, man. I was like, it's a good day today.
I'll take that.
But yeah, I'm debating on whether or not to get like either the second most expensive copy or version of Final Fantasy VII, or just get the standard version so I can just play it. Because I want to say I've only recently played Final Fantasy VII, and that was the PS4 remastered version. It did that, and then I'm currently playing Final Fantasy VIII, the little H2 remastered version. Because this is like the first time I've ever got to play the game, because that game came out literally the same year I was born. So I'm like, yeah, this is the first time I've ever played it. Yeah, and then I do know there was some controversy going on because one dude was mad because Siren had like an edit for a character, and I was like, so what? Who cares? I was like, you do realize I'm only 20 years old, and this game is 20 years old, right? I was like, stop complaining. I was like, who cares? The game is cool. And then, because he was mad because they didn't change Shiva, but they had censored Siren. And I was like, Shiva is a sexy blue lady. They're not gonna put clothes on Shiva. She doesn't feel cold. I'm like, there's no point. I'm like, they're not gonna change Shiva. Shiva will never wear clothes. We all know this, and it's not happening. They're not. That's the one thing they're gonna keep the same all the time. Is Shiva. They'll change everything else, but Shiva is still not gonna have any clothes.
Okay.
I was like, quit. It was hilarious. The guy was like, I mean, you're right about one thing.
Are you okay?
You don't look so
good. Hey, Simba.
Yeah, there was like
why
some
don't we team up and do
strange
something about that Scar
uproar
Ghost?
about
Seems like everybody's
and
worried about
censorship.
it. So
And I was
now's
like,
your big chance
you're
to show
complaining
them what
with
you're
these
really
little
made
things. Just play the game. They're like, but it's not the
doesn't concern
same.
you.
I'm like, I didn't notice there was a difference until someone said anything. So I was like, what's your point?
I just wish I knew what my father would do.
But he's not here, Simba. It's all up
Wow.
to you now.
Alright, you think
That's
that?
the important thing is what you're gonna do being the king.
So many people,
Not what
like
your
there was
father would have done.
people were like, yeah, we're like, what, like
So you're
30,
saying
40
it's
years
all up
old.
to me.
And they're like, I remember playing the
there you
original
go.
game.
Exactly.
And I was like,
We
okay.
know your dad was a great
It's
king
nice.
and all, but now
It might
it's
be
your
still
turn.
the same game, it's
Remember
just,
what I
you know,
taught you. You gotta put the past
Swole has a
behind
face
you.
now.
It's time to go out there and
And it's
show
not,
everybody things are gonna be just
a bunch
fine.
of censored pixels.
Yeah, you
or,
can do it.
You gotta
or
live
just a
for
really,
today.
really bad pixels.
Find your own path.
Mm-hmm.
Live for today. And find my own path.
No,
Not
that's
my
like the
father's.
one thing I
That's it.
remember from 8. So
I'm
I want to say
glad
I
you
watched
say
someone
that, Simba.
play the game, and I was like, "Where's this man's face?" I was like, "Why is his face look like the mosaic censorship?"
As long as Sora handles it dangerous.
I was like, "Why?" Oh yeah, 8 had a. I mean, it was quite a jump from 7, but. The pixels.
Great,
The
now we're gonna
pixels.
have to babysit.
His face was just. It was really bad.
Oh yeah.
Let's go see Rafiki first. I'm sure he'll be able to tell us something about that ghost.
Other than that, I want another Kingdom Hearts game or another Kingdom Hearts side story or side game because that's coming eventually. Don't know when, but it's coming.
Kingdom
eventually.
Hearts Remind DLC comes out this winter.
Yes, I am slightly excited for that.
Super excited.
Mostly because it's what I think it's gonna it is. It's gonna be how like they did it for like a few seconds in 3, or like for one or the 1 or 2 fights where you don't have to play as you don't get to play as Sora, you get to play as a different character, which is great. Because I want to say my all-time favorite Kingdom Hearts character is Aqua. I was in the group of salty people who were mad at Mickey Mouse, for waiting 10 years to say, hey, maybe we should go check on Aqua. Again, I blame Mickey. It's all Mickey's fault in my opinion. For waiting 10 years. They go find the technical most recent Keyblade Master. Oh yeah, it was like the one Berserk meme where everyone's like Griffin has done nothing wrong.
Oops.
It's like he did nothing wrong. But yeah, if that's what if that's what I'm guessing Remind is gonna be like, because from the little 5 or what was it, like 2-minute trailer or however long the trailer was, it was like, oh snap, you get to play as these guys. I am excited for that. That's what I want.
Yeah, I guess those fights are not canon in any way in terms of story, but there's definitely a story game. As many bosses as there were data boss fights are going to be added in Kingdom Hearts 2. They're going to be adding about that many in Kingdom Hearts 3. They're going to be adding 2 new Keyblades, Oathkeeper and Oblivion with new forms.
Yeah,
Super
that's
excited.
another thing I was surprised about. They didn't have those. So that was like Oathkeeper and Oblivion are like staple Kingdom Hearts Keyblades. And I was like, they aren't here? I was like, something's not right.
Well, they
like,
are
Square
here.
must be
Roxas is the one wielding them.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, there's that. And I was like, something's not right. I was like, Square, I was like, they want me to pay for something, don't they? I was like, I can feel it. So I was like, whoa. I was like, they're missing 2 crucial Keyblades. So I was like, I want to say, out of all the Keyblades, I remember each specific part, because that's how one was. I was like, oh yeah, look at this, I'm about to get Oathkeeper. And then I was like, yeah, let's switch over to that for now. Because I want to say, I never switched any of the other Keyblades. I just used the Kingdom Key, because you can go through like the entire game with just that one, and it's perfectly fine. I mean, might have a slight damage disadvantage, but other than that, it's perfectly fine.
You do lack abilities for the Kingdom Key.
Yeah. And I was like, Oathkeeper and Oblivion have like, what? For two, they have two great abilities. Form Boost and the other one, which I can't remember what it is. But those are like the greatest abilities ever. Especially for like level grinding your forms.
Oh yeah, and especially for getting money, if you know how to use the Drive Converter money items and stuff like that. It turns Drive Orbs into money, and going to the Master Form and going, or yeah, you can just go straight to Master Form and go to Yensid's Tower, go from the top of the tower, down one set of stairs, you'll find a bunch of gambler nobodies, you play their game and win. They will, depending on your Keyblade and ability setup, will either drop a crap ton of Drive Orbs and you can level up Master Form almost instantly done. Level 7, okay, next. Or you can convert them into money, and it's the fastest money-making method in this game. It's really nice.
Yeah, I want to say, where did I go for Master Form? I think I spent a lot of time in
Land of Dragons was a good idea. Land of Dragons, where you use fire on all the fireworks and explosives, and they dropped a lot of those. But Master Form is fastest you have to level up at Master Yensid's Tower. Just go from his main top floor, go down, and there's a bunch of gamblers. Using the Sweet Memories Keyblade is important because of its ability. This will convert a bunch of stuff. It depends. Do you want to use it or not? Depending on if you use these Keyblades with money and Drive Orb converters, it'll change depending on if you want money or you want Drive Orbs, and if you really want to level up. Master Form, just pick up Drive Orbs to your level up. It's going to be ridiculously quick.
I didn't even know that. Oh, yeah, I don't think I've ever even thought about that one. Or thought about that.
And of course, you know how they all level up, do you?
Yeah.
Or at least how all, yeah. Like, Valar Form can be leveled up really quickly in two places. One, in Agrabah, during the Mushroom 13 fight, number 5. You can just Valar Form triangle to start the game and just bash at him. And if you're running low, run out of that treasure room and just go to the save point, leave the world, come back, your drive gauge is maxed out and restored. Here's the next one you could do anywhere. If you're in a form and you go to a save point and leave the world, your drive gauges are fully restored, which is nice. And then of course you have another good spot, but it only happens once and it's permanently gone after this one scenario. It's the very first time you actually entered the world that never was, just before the Roxas fight. You enter the area and there's a bunch of shadows. During the point where you're at that save point at the beginning, all your party members are in a walking around state. In this state, it's kind of like this is a moment's reprieve kind of area. If you have if you're in a drive form or in a summon and you enter that room, your drive form or summon disappears and you're fully restored in the gauge without leaving the world. It's really nice. Because of that, you can just Valar Form, enter the battle, and if you enter the battle before or after, so to avoid getting anti-form, just go into Valar Form before you enter a battle. If you're in battle then use a form, you risk going into anti, or at least adding anti-points to your invisible counter. and then you just bash all the enemies and level up. This is great, especially for Wisdom, because there's a lot of shadows in that area. Just spam fire in Wisdom form, you get kills to level it up really quick. You just leave the room before your form goes out and you're fully restored. You don't need to go anywhere or use any drive or restoring items. You're good. This is also an incredible way to max out your summon level. You basically, you don't even need to kill any Heartless. To level up summon is just to use up the drive gauge. The fastest way to do this is once you leave, enter a battle, use summon Peter Pan, use the finisher the opponent does, and then cancel. You can go to cancel the attack, and then use it again. Watch how it uses all of your gauges after the second one and you're at 0. Don't use the finisher, just fly into the next room. And watch how you've used up all the gauges, and it only took you a matter of seconds. You've just gained, like, a lot of points just for doing that. And you can level up to 7 on your summon gauge really quickly with Peter Pan there. You just keep using Peter Pan, use the special attack of his twice, cancel them and leave. While summon is still there, and woohoo! You'll be at level 7 with summon in no time. Final form is the most difficult to level up. It's just beat up nobodies.
Yeah.
That's the grind.
But like conveniently you get it around the end of the game where like there's basically just no bodies to fight half the time. And that's just sit down and grind for 4 or 5 hours until you get level 7.
As for unlocking Final Form, it's just random on when you unlock it. The 2 become 1 key either guarantees Anti-Form or Final Form. So by equipping this, and then going to the Colosseum world, Olympus Colosseum, and entering the, what cup was it? It was the one where you were able to use drive forms alone with Sora.
I can't think of which one that is, but I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, you use that one, and all you have to do is go into any form. If you anti-form, push pause and go to retry. You do the round again. And you get to retry in seconds. It's like, okay, retry. Try again, retry. Oh, there's Final Form. You get it in less than a minute. You get Final Form, like, instantly. It's really easy. Immediately after beating Roxas, you get the 2 become 1 key and the ability to unlock Final Form, which is really nice. So I just take my sweet time, and I'll just go back real quick and get Final Form before I progress.
Oh yeah, that's the plan for endgame at least. I'm gonna take a couple, maybe an hour or 2 to grind for max level and get all that stuff. Or not everything, but at least get max level and drive forms maxed out.
Okay, you win.
Oh yeah.
Just for the sake of having the maxed out growth abilities.
Oh yeah. That's some good stuff. I guess there's the oh yeah, if you want that puzzle piece that you just tried jumping after, if you swing in midair, you get an extra aerial reach. You can actually reach that piece.
It's right over. Oh yeah, that one. No.
It's tricky, but you can actually get it. I've gotten it that way. You can also try Magic Reflect, but
Where's he?
he's hiding somewhere. Yes. Oh yeah, your Simba party member has auto limit on. I hate that ability. I hate accidentally pressing triangle, losing all my MP to using a limit. I like to be in control when I use limits. That thing drives me nuts.
Ugh.
Oh no! Guess you caught
I
us
normally just
all.
leave all
What are we gonna do?
the cool fun cameo menus on whatever
Tell me about
default
Scar's
abilities are.
ghost.
Sorry.
Because half the time I'll either use them or don't use them. Because I want to say, what, the only...
It's coming back to me. That's the one that only hangs out
party
on
members
cats.
I used
Right, Bonsai?
that I was like, oh yeah, totally, let's go and fight with were Mulan, Aladdin. The first time I played the game, because Aladdin had like some insane. He had some insane, just crazy abilities that were just really cool. And Jack Skellington.
Oh yeah, and Riku's pretty good.
Riku's
where are you going?
Riku's great. He's like Roxas at Kingdom Hearts 3.
Simba!
And I was like, yo. I was like, I don't need the fight. I was like, you got it, bro.
Rafiki was right.
Oh, man.
You mean Simba
Roxas is like, by far,
do you think there's some
one
way we
of the
can
best party assists.
We should start by talking to Simba some more.
Like once I watched one dude, he just sat down. He was like, I'm gonna let the AI Roxas and the not bad AI Shihan fight.
It's too easy. But I actually try to help Roxas out and try to compete with who can do more damage.
Oh yeah, because I was like, man, bro, I'm getting upstage, and I was like, you're just AI, and you're over here, you got like game breaking abilities. And I'm like, you have like the exact same.
On your own.
Yeah, and I'm like, bruh. I'm like, and then I think they just left him with like the exact same moves that he had from the boss fight in 2.
I mean, come on.
So I was like, that right there was like, I was like, bruh, I was like, you got all your stupid OP abilities, and I'm like, man, I was like, why is Roxas not the main character? I was like, bruh.
They are basically the Berserk. They're supposed to be insanely intimidating and extremely powerful, and yet in both 2 and 3, they are the easiest bosses in the game.
Oh yeah.
Well, 1, because you exploited a glitch, and 2, the 3rd game, Roxas is OP.
Oh yeah. I don't get. I'm like, Roxas is Sora's nobody. So I'm like, why does Roxas have like some straight busted abilities that Sora doesn't have?
Probably like, Ben's fault.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, but I was like, man, why?
But Ben is a character from Union Cross, so he knows something of ancient fairy tales and days of old and stuff. Great.
But I was like, yeah, I was like, it's like in a fight, Roxas. I feel like Roxas would just easily, like casually, just take Sora on and be like, yo, let's fight 1v1, and let's see who wins. I feel like Roxas would win, but as stated by, if you play if you final mix of 2, and Sora wins because, hey, I remember that I can dematerialize my Keyblade.
Money.
I understand why they did that, but I was like, Roxas, you have 2 Keyblades. They do the same thing. You shouldn't be surprised. I was like, whatever. I was like, it's fine.
Omae wa mou shindeiru. Nani? You got him.
I know a few people, I was talking to someone, I was like, I was talking to my friend, he was like, bruh, he was like, Roxas shouldn't have lost that fight. It's like, Roxas clearly won. Roxas was just being too cocky. It's the only reason he lost. He was like, oh yeah, Sora? He was like, oh, this is a piece of cake. He's like, let me just disable you from using your Keyblade real fast by keeping it right here. It's like, it's not like you're gonna try to, the one thing that all the Keyblade users can do and do that. He's like, you're totally not gonna do that.
I don't know why it took me so long to realize, but Naminé is actually also part Sora's nobody. Well, the reason why is because Princesses of Heart, being Kairi, as an example, are unable to produce nobodies. As written in the Ansem reports of Kingdom Hearts games.
True.
It says that they can be turned, it can be turned into Heartless or whatever, but they can't produce a nobody. It sucks. It's interesting. But for some reason, Kairi's heart ended up in Sora, causing this exception to occur. So because of this outer body experience, Sora produced two nobodies, one being of Kairi, but with attributes of Sora, being Naminé, and one of Roxas, being attributes of Ventus. So that would be the reason why she has power over Sora's memories and those connected to him. She has a much deeper connection to Sora. Much deeper connection to Sora than Kairi for some reason.
I just left that, the whole Sora Kairi thing, I left that, like, what was it? The running joke was when Dream Drop Distance, or whichever Kingdom Hearts game came out, where Sora had finally got back with Riku. He was so excited to see Riku, and then he saw Kairi, and he was like, "Sup?" He was like, "What's good?" He's like, "Are you okay?" And then he saw Riku, and the man nearly cried, or he did cry, I think. And I was like, "Bruh."
Kingdom Hearts 2 is the game where Sora meets with Kairi and Riku, and he cries later.
Yeah. It was that, and then I want to say it was that one, and then Dream Drop Distance when Riku comes back from dropping into Sora's mind or heart or something like that. It was like, yeah.
I like the glasses Goofy and Sora was wearing. It was good.
I was like, Sora. I was like, come on. I was like, you can't be that dense.
But I guess my friends keep telling me I have a good Goofy impression. And if you played Kingdom Hearts 3, you know the memes. The good old Goofy and his ingredients keeps telling you about.
Oh God, that's the one thing. That right there. Oh man. I mean, I got tired. I didn't really get tired of it in Final Fantasy 15 because Ignis is British, and you can't get tired of hearing someone say. I was watching a video of the voice actors, and the guy who does Ignis' voice, he was like, I never realized how many times I've said that's it. I'm gonna put a new recipe. He's like, I didn't realize how many times it's actually said in the game until actually sitting down and playing the game.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh yeah, but I was like, I can stand that. But I was like Goofy and Donald, you tell me one more time. You say it one more time. Oh man.
Well, we'll find some ingredients around here.
That right there, that was really annoying. It's like every other corner. I'm like, I get it, thank you.
Hey,
I'll check it out later.
Do you think it's a good idea? Yes, it is. It is. Should tell him. Okie dokie. I can't wait. I can't wait to tell Sora he's gonna lose his mind. Watch this. Ready, Donald? It's like, hey, Sora. He's like, what? I bet we'll find some ingredients around here. Doing it. Relax, great. I can just picture I was gonna try doing a drive-through prank at like some random fast food restaurant. You know the Big Smoke's order, right? The old classic Grand Theft Autos. Yeah, Big Smoke. Yeah. The classic, I'll have 2 number 9s and the number 9 large, number 6 with extra dip, and all that good stuff.
They really need to do like a remastered or like a remake of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It's by far the greatest Grand Theft Auto game. I want to say that's the only one I remember playing that I wanted to play.
Yes. Well, that was our plan, was to do a drive-through. We were planning to do a drive-through prank with that, only it was going to be starring Disney characters. The only problem is, I need somebody to do impressions of Mickey, Donald, and whoever else is in the car. And I'll just be like, I'll just start off with Goofy wanting his 2 number 9s. It would just have been funny. Let's see here. I'll have 2 number 9s. What do you have, Mickey? He just goes over to him and says, oh, I have number 6 with extra dip. He's like, oh, yeah, swell. Donald, you know, fussy in the back. It's like, say, Donald, do you want some? Are you sure you don't want nothing? I don't know. Donald comes in there and says, Fooey, I'll have a 6 with extra dip. Okie dokie. Oh, really good. Minnie wants that number 7. Gorge, do you think we should get Pete something? At home, he's a big guy, he needs to eat his food. We'll give him 2 45s, 1 with cheese. Oh, and a large soda. Oh. Would have just been funny.
It's no use. I'll never be the king my father was.
But Simba, that's not what
And
you're
of course,
supposed to
you know those Disney
You can't be Mufasa. You can only be
cartoons
you.
of Mickey Mouse.
Everybody
What was it,
believes
House
in
of
you as a
Mouse or
king.
something? No,
They just
something.
want to see what you'll do.
It was a Disney cartoon, but it was basically a
because you haven't
Kingdom
done
Hearts
much
in a
yet.
nutshell
That's all.
kind of episodes.
I know that.
Then stop
There was one
moping
of
and do something.
I can't.
Mickey Mouse, Donald and Goofy. They were locked in a room. They couldn't get out.
Why stick around if he's not even gonna
The door, I can't get it open. Mickey tries, but
Come on,
Goofy just says, must be locked. Mickey goes, locked? Where's the key? But then it goes to, maybe it's on Goofy's keychain. And then it leads to a reconnect Kingdom Hearts kind of thing after Goofy starts talking about his keys. He just goes, let's see here. We have a piano key, a car key, a skeleton key, keyboard, key lime pie, key to the city, key to my heart. Reconnect Kingdom Hearts plays.
Is gone.
Like, what? Gosh. But then he goes on and on.
I'm really lucky to have friends who stand by
High
me.
key, low key, on key,
clearly.
off key, trick key,
My
oak
father
key, donkey,
wasn't so
artichoke,
There you go
Don Quixote.
I mean,
Oh, that's a
everyone
stretch.
here in
Get rid of
Bright
that
Land
one.
wants me to succeed.
Pokey, pokey,
Sora,
smoky.
Donald, and Goofy. Pumbaa,
Hey,
Timon,
I like it
Rafiki.
cranky, hanky, panky, spanky. He just goes
I
on,
want what's best for
you
me.
know, on and
But
on
my
and on.
father always had
Eventually,
Scar lurking
monkey,
behind his
donkey,
back,
parakeet,
trying to cut him down.
and
I've got to make the
get
most
ready,
of my blessings and rebuild this
Mickey.
kingdom.
Are you gonna say it
Points
or
over to
do
Mickey.
it?
Wait and
It's like,
see.
oh, that accomplished absolutely nothing. Then he pulls out a key from the roof of his mouth that was taped up there. He's like, well, maybe we ought to just use the spare key.
Everybody but Nala hightailed it out of there.
He's like, he gets mad. I love it.
Our little Simba.
And when they finally get out, Minnie drives up and says, hey, you left your key at my house.
You're coming
Oh,
too.
that's great. And he says, well, I'd say this ending was kind of dorky. Just yucks about it. And it was like, okay. There was also the episode where they talk about nobodies. They were looking for help for I don't know why reason. I haven't seen the whole episode, but Mickey just starts off with, "Nobody's here!" Goofy just spouts off with his stupidity. Who's nobody?
Where's Simba?
And Mickey's like, you know, no one's here. But we're here. Does that make us nobody? No, we're somebody's. Oh, so somebody is here. He's like, yes. Where are they and why won't they help us? We're the somebodies. You, me, here. Well, then help me. You see, our phone's dead. And no. Yes, it is. Don't you remember? I can't help you. What are you doing here? He's like, I came to find some help. Hate to break it to you, Mickey, but somebody told me that nobody was here. But you just, I forget it. You were just the best.
Are you with me?
Now and forever, Your Majesty.
Jolly Ranchers. Delicious.
Boss battles and then break, and then what time is it? 3. Oh,
what time?
Almost 4 o'clock.
Oh, would you look at that? Now this boss fight is fun. Just mash triangle through the epic cinematic. Woohoo! Big whoop. But once you're on top on the back, I would definitely use Simba's Wildcat limit. It does a lot of damage. You don't get hurt from the crazy berserk Heartless that wants to give you a good thwacking. And a whole lot of zip-zap.
Back off.
But this fight's pretty easy when you're definitely not on proud or critical. This fight's gonna be pretty easy.
Oh no! I gotta take that off. There you are.
I like using all of my attacks and then using squares the finisher combo because I like Sora's Lion Roar attack. And now would be a good time to use the Wildcat, but you kinda used it real early. Boing, boing. Now that you're up on top of the back of the enemy, Wildcat would be the best. Or if you don't feel like using Wildcat, Reflect is a great option, so you don't get zapped all the time.
Yes. Oh, that's nice. There we go. Almost. Now, just come back. Right, stop it.
I had to break that habit of playing Kingdom Hearts 1 and mashing the X button is all I did. Now Kingdom Hearts 2 comes around. Instead of mashing one button, you get to mash 2 buttons. You're just mashing X and square. It seemed that way, but then you realize, well, you still use limits. And triangle buttons for situation commands happen often. Reaction commands are the best. But yes, the Sora's Lion Roar attack is pretty interesting of a finisher. It would really suck if Simba died during this boss fight and you would lose because of it. That would suck, especially in a level 1 sense. You're probably going to just die instantly. Good luck beating this one.
Oh, Simba, where are you at? What are you? Oh,
Wee. This is one of those moments where you attack him because he's vulnerable, but also pay attention to the fireballs down the way so you don't get hit. Learn to back off when you need to. And there we go.
Somebody can't walk in.
I honestly haven't seen a health bar that long in years. I'm not used to it. I remember back in Kingdom Hearts 1 where the health bar just goes across the screen.
Oh, yeah, those...
And then I go to Kingdom Hearts 2 and it only looped around to the bottom of Sora's necklace. It wasn't across the screen anymore because I stuck to the critical mode and I was just like, oh no.
Use reaction. Got it. I don't see any reaction.
Isn't that the best?
Can't tell me to use something and they're not
You're
showing it.
sorry about me. What are you doing, game? What do I do?
Give me a second.
You have to be in front of the enemy for the reaction command.
Okay.
When it's storming across the stage like that, it's best to just stay in the middle or the opposite side of the stage from them. So that way when it charges at you from the front, you're able to use a reaction command. You stick too close to that guy and he'll just stomp his way past you and you don't get to use the Thanks, auto ability or auto limit. I never used Wildcat instead of save myself a move. And all my MP's gone. Thanks. Can I smash this triangle button any harder? Please.
Oh yeah,
do bonus damage if I do?
The health bar and the body was confusing. That was the one thing I couldn't wrap my head around. I was like, I thought it was cool. Good God. I've never seen so many shades of purple for just one guy. I was like, I don't know if he's dead or if I'm hurting him or not. It's still purple.
Oh yeah, Sephiroth was a great example of that.
Yeah, I am glad that they decided to go with a more reasonable setup for health
HP, yeah.
It's a lot more reasonable.
GUI. You actually know how many bars of HP that there is. But when you're at Union Cross and you realize how many bars of HP there are in that game, it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah. I played Union for like months. I know I have to wrap my head around playing it eventually, but it's just...
This story is so complicated right now.
Yeah.
But I have a deep understanding of it, and oh my gosh, my head still hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I know, I could tell people who were like, oh, I want to get into Kingdom Hearts. I was like, okay, let me tell you the breakdown, essentially. I was like, you want to know about Union Cross? I was like, look that up on yourself. And I was like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. I was like, yeah. That's the one.
But it does spawn an interesting theory that ties into Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
Why is it that Sora was able to defeat the foretold unstoppable predicament of light expiring, you know, the whole dark prevails? Why did he win?
I don't know.
It goes into the theory with
like he's like a
to victory is
like I want to say he's like a Jet kind of boss, like Jet, like you know Jet from Final Fantasy. He's the bad guy because the situation makes him the bad guy.
Yes, yes, it is time. Your fight continues.
Basically, as what Xehanort was
Till we
told,
meet again,
is
Your Majesty.
all this stuff about
I hope
Keyblade
that's
War, the
soon.
darkness, and all that stuff, resetting the world. Great.
It will be.
Thanks
So
to the
long.
Master of Masters manipulating him. It would seem to me that in this theory, Sora is actually a virus of code and data created by Brain from Union Cross. After the end of the Keyblade War, the people have foretold or warned, hey, the Keyblade War's upon us, it's inevitable. The whole thing where everybody's fighting over it. But one day, you, the nameless hero player, wakes up to realize everything's normal. What happened to the Keyblade War? It never happened. But it actually did. Everyone in that Daybreak town and the worlds are all there. It was all in a digital world in the Book of Prophecies. Living a world where the Keyblade War never happened. Mr. Brain here and the other survivors of the real Keyblade War, Ventus, Laurium, Skuld, Ephemer, those guys, they were the dandelions that Ava selected and chose. They're off to fix things, basically. Their goal, they were going to try to figure out what's wrong. They found out about this. They were living in a digital world. Kind of a thing. Brain found out that there was still another apocalypse to happen.
Your fans won't settle for anything less than
And it was unavoidable, or at least he thought. So he was going to become a virus in order to protect everything. To basically counteract this foretold darkness prevail and might expire. Is the theory. So it's either Brain is Sora in his virus form, or perhaps Brain created Sora as a virus. That was going to be the defier of this fated end. And yeah, basically fix everything.
Who deserves the title Ultimate Hero? These games are going to settle the debate once and for all. The winner reigns
And the whole
supreme.
power of waking thing where he's able to reset the point in time to a point where it didn't happen. That cheese, it's great. So the whole, everybody died, but then it didn't happen. Keyblade Graveyard, complicated confusion.
You'll never see your girlfriend again.
Oh, yeah.
You're too kind, kid.
And what's interesting is the skippable by accident Naminé cutscene you see in the final world. You talk to Naminé, and she talks about connections with another person that's tied to Sora, which would be Terra. Apparently, it is because of Naminé that Terra was saved. It called out and reached to Terra's heart, guiding his way back to fighting back in that one fight, as well as calling for the aid of the Lingering Will to that all of a sudden fight with the Xehanort Terra form, as well as, yeah, Lingering Will. And that stopped you from dying all over again. But young Xehanort knew of your whole power of waking manipulation, exploitation. For wielding such power foolishly, as he says, is a high price to pay for it. The price you pay for is, well, your erasure, your existence. Your time in this world is, as he cuts out, is over. Well, that was the price Sora had to pay. And so it was kinda sucky. The question out in everyone's mind is, what does the wild card that Luxord gave Sora? Could turn the tables. That card has most likely ties to Sora and what happens to him in the Remind DLC, or at least what will happen in Kingdom Hearts 4, depending on whenever they want to reveal it. But Luxord wants to know who Braig is. He wants to know more about him, because he knows there's something up his sleeve. There's something different about Xigbar. That was what the Remind DLC tackles about. But what's interesting is that Xigbar doesn't know who Luxord is, really. The question is, who are you, kind of a thing. We are now certain that he has more to his story and plot than just being a grunt in the organization. So, I want to know more about this Gambler of Fate. What ace is up his sleeve? I want to know. What tricks? What does he know? Who is he, really? What do you think about him? I mean, if Luxord isn't even known by who... If Luxu doesn't even know who he is, it's kind of very enigmatic.
Yeah. With Luxord, he is by far one of the most interesting characters that to come out of 2. Because I was like, he doesn't see... Luxord, he... Personally, in my opinion, he's having way too much, I would say, fun. To where he fits in that kind of Dimix category. Where I was like, Dimix is just the best organization member ever. He's like, bro, he's like, I don't even want to fight. He's like, I don't even want to do this. Where Luxord is like, oh man, it was like, you, like, the thing with Luxord, right? I know when I first played Kingdom Hearts 2, when he invoked Parlay, and I was like, what do you know about Parlay? I was like, wait a minute. I was like...
He's studied the world, that's for sure.
It just, like, Luxord, he sticks out amongst all of the members. Especially with, I wouldn't say Axel. Axel doesn't really, he doesn't stick out too much, but he keeps the same personality he had when he was lead, essentially. Which is pretty interesting, because I want to say the only other person who kept, I want to say he's the only one who keeps, like, his original kind of, like, persona he had.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone else is kind of, oh yeah, whatever, blah blah blah.
Here's something mind-blowing. If you know the story of Union Cross and who Larium is, and also who Elrena and also who Strelitzia are, who are they? Do you know them?
Names are sounding very similar to other characters that I think.
Well, let's see. Larium is the somebody form of Marluxia.
Yeah, that's why it sounds familiar. Okay.
But he comes in Union Cross as one of the Dandelions, as one of the Keyblade War survivors by not fighting. Whether or not he has a Keyblade in this point in time, it's not really certain. But Elrena is the Larxene somebody, also in this Union Cross ancient Keyblade War times.
The greatest scenery ever.
Turns out, the reason why Larxene says, I was really just along with the ride, and Sora asks, with, and she says, my secret, is because the reason why she's following around with the whole organization was to be with someone.
I want to say... I thought it was because Marluxia and like Larxene are like brother and sister.
Besties.
Or something. Yeah,
actually, that's very
that
close.
Yeah.
It's very close. They're just best friends.
Yeah.
However, Marluxia and Strelitzia are brother and sister. Strelitzia is a Union Cross exclusive character that was very shy, didn't like to talk to anybody, and was remaining hidden throughout your entire campaign in Union Cross. She was supposed to be the one to carry the lost page of the Book of Prophecies or something. She was supposed to be serving the role that Ava wanted, probably, as theorized, but was killed off by a mysterious person that was theorized to also be Brain, for I don't know why reasons. Why would he do this, if it was him? So somebody killed off Strelitzia, just dead, gone, all of a sudden, and Marluxia, or Lauriam, went looking for his sister, asked for Elrena's help. We had hints of a Keyblade War, this and that, and so now there's only remains of glitchy data of Strelitzia as a digital version of everyone's lives who are already dead but living a digital world. It's interesting and very confusing, but Lauriam was looking for Strelitzia, his sister. If you haven't noticed, if you've played Chain of Memories, or the RE remake, more like it, that giant Marluxia fight, and that, if you've seen the Marluxia boss fight, the Marluxia boss fight at the very end of the game, where Marluxia transforms into that giant flying whatever the freak that is, and it becomes one with it, and you're flying and fighting around with this thing. Turns out that monstrosity or creature is of a female-like character, with some similar characteristics to Strelitzia, a monster version of Marluxia's sister. You were literally fighting Marluxia and Strelitzia, or this nameless female character that Marluxia seems to be flying on, and it's like, what, really? That's a very interesting connection. If that's really confirmed true, that would be mind-blowing. Marluxia and his sister are trying to take you on in Chain of Memories.
Yeah, that'd be great, but with how Nomura is, I don't know. I think he'll probably think of that midway through developing whichever Kingdom Hearts sequel will come out, and he's like, wait, we need to stop.
Let's make this happen.
Yeah.
But why would he create this female character as a monstrosity of sorts? For no reason. Maybe he had ideas for something mysterious down the road, but didn't know exactly what it is until he just like, you know what? This will be a little hint at something.
Okay, let's review.
That only the observant would ever figure it out.
That is my crime. It is.
I mean, it's a better reason than making, what was it, 2.9 or whatever, or 2.8. Yeah.
Okay,
the 2.8 is the chapter prologue of that contained Drain Drop Distance, and it contained 0.2, the unique cross back cover story.
Yeah, it's a bit because I mean, with me, yeah, I love the Kingdom Hearts series. It's great.
No,
but I'm just saying, Birth by Sleep 0.2 just explains why Mickey Mouse didn't have a shirt in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Pretty much.
Oh, God. Oh, man. I mean, sure. And other than just being a glorified demo
Lord Hades
for the Kingdom Hearts 3, essentially.
For $60.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
A 3-hour movie, one full 3DS game, and a tech demo. Whereas all the other games were 2 games and a great 3-hour movie. 2 full games, mind you.
Yeah, and those were like, what, like $20 a piece? On like, when
then they came out with a
1.5
plus 2.5, so it came with all 6 games, well, 4 games, 2 movies for $60, but then you get this for $60.
Oh yeah, I was a poor man Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and I decided to buy all of the games for the PS4.
Hey, I wanted it. I didn't.
I was like, it's worth it though. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was worth it. I sat down. I didn't. What did I do? I played all of the. All right, let's fight. I played all the main games, and then I went back, and I'm probably gonna end up playing the side stuff, or the side games like Rechanted Memories.
What's wrong, Sora?
I have to actually sit down and play that.
It's like Hades'
I mean, true. I'm still getting around that whole card
scratchy.
thing. That card fighting aspect is interesting, but again, I didn't pay attention to some of those fights, and you can't run away like you can
using the statue to
in the other games. So you still take damage for some things, and I was like, no.
See if you can find
I
that
said, okay. Gotta
It's
get
gotta
used
be
to that.
somewhere in the underworld.
Yeah, the concept of that is that you have to have an it's like a game of war, if you've ever played that. The higher the number value of card intercepts or breaks the opponent's card. If they strike first, but then you strike with another card, their card attack is cancelled, and you're the one that deals the damage.
Just hurry back. I know you
And
can do
it's
it.
vice versa. If they have a higher card, you stop attacking, you get staggered, and then they hit you.
And his trusty
But
friends
there's
after
the
me to
zero
winner
card
in
that
one final
overrules
clash.
that.
What do you say?
It's the weakest card in the game with the lowest number if you strike first, but it is the strongest and overrules any card, and even a stack of cards, if it's used last. So you have to wait and time that zero card until they strike you first, but then react fast enough to cancel their attack and break it, and hit them with a zero card. It's especially useful for when, in like bosses, when they stack 3 cards of 9s and you're like, oh no, what do you do? Zero. Haha. Cancel out their ultimate move. But then of course there's also mixing and matching certain keyblades and different numbers to get different slates abilities. Like Zantetsuken, Strike Raid, things like that. You can do different kinds of special attacks if you mix certain numbers and keys.
Yeah, but like Chain of Memories it's on the list. I'm actually just I'm gonna sit down and play that one game. Eventually. Birth by Sleep, I will gladly sit down and play that for hours. I will gladly sit down and play that one. I want to say, like, when I first got... Yeah, that was the first game in the 1.5, 2.5 that I played. They're like, why'd you get this? I was like, for Birth by Sleep. I was like, you don't understand. Birth by Sleep was my favorite game until I got Final Fantasy 13. So I was like, Birth by Sleep was great. I thought the story, sure, you could beat the whole game in like 10 hours or so. But I was like, you get to go through 3 times, 3 different characters, 3 different stories. Right. That's a genius idea. It's genius.
3 different perspectives of the same story.
Yes, and if you go for like...
And then of course the secret and final episodes, but...
Yeah. And then they're like, oh yeah, the way you gotta... me, not knowing that there was a order for the story, and playing as Alpha first, and not understanding how everything happened, because Alpha just gets, like, how her story works, it's more for... If you've already played Terra's and Ventus' story, you get Aqua who has like a wrap up of how everything happens. And again, me being just too excited to play the game was like, oh, let's play as Aqua first. And I was like, why is this happening? Because I don't understand. But it was worth it though.
Oh boy. I guess this game, there was a way to get to the end of the Cavern of Remembrance through a glitch. But it saves you time and it saves you from leveling up Glide to max level. but it's using a glitch that, 1, gets you out of bounds, and then 2, using a second glitch to infinitely jump.
Okay.
There's this, the stair steps in one of this rooms.
Who is this? This is, oh, no, that's what's his face. I don't have a... Oh, wait, no! No, okay. Whew. I thought I hit the wrong button for a second.
Oh, yeah, that's Zexion.
I just want to attempt it. I feel like I'm gonna die as soon as I walk in, but I'm gonna attempt it, just for now. And see what I'm working with.
The exploit of wisdom, fire, stop. Fire, stop. It does a lot of damage to this guy if you know how to do it right. But, let's see. There's a glitch where you're actually able to ledge grab in a specific spot. If you ledge grab, you click through the wall, and so you're ledge grabbing from the outside of the boundaries. And if you let go, you fall into a black void. The only way out is to, well, quit the game. It sucks. You fall forever in a black void. But you can then use the master form glitch where you're able to, if you farmed enough drive recoveries, you can jump, reflect, drive form, switch into master. You get to do it a second aerial jump, and then reflect, revert, pause game, get a drive orb or recovery, and you're actually able to revert, double jump, master form, double jump, but reflect is for stalling for time as you ready yourself to keep this pattern going.
How I beat this guy. Or was it the data version? This is the... This is easy. How did I beat the data version? I think I had to sit there for like...
The same way, it's just harder.
I didn't like him at all. I know which one there. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Stop.
Find the right book, and that's the one. You press triangle and victory.
Oh, wow, okay. Whatever, it's cool. It's cool.
That's a Lowe's malarkey, yeah.
Nope.
Take this. Back off. Yeah. Take this. Heal.
No. This one. Yes. No. Oh, no! Okay. That's cool. That's fine.
If you fail, you can still reflect your way out, but the problem is you don't have magic because you decided to heal instead. That's a tricky decision.
This is it.
That's nice. Here you at. Here you at. Oh, not again. Okay. Totally this one.
Gather.
Reflect for survival. Oh, you use magnet. I think that was a wrong button. Oops.
Hey, almost done. No! Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Ha ha ha. Perfect. Good. Now just let me... Okay. Or do that. Whatever. That's cool. I wanted to do that. Now I have to...
You missed the finisher
Oh,
anti-form.
I was right! No! I was right. What was that one? Stop it.
I mean, come on, you are at 1 HP with the guy. You missed the finisher and anti-form. That sucks.
Oh, there we go.
Gather.
Wrong one. There. Okay.
Magnet doesn't work for that guy. There you go. Woo.
Oh yeah, book of
But yeah,
shadows.
if you do that walk through walls glitch right, you can go into the room past the glide, and for some reason, it bypasses the scripted event where you have to fight all those nobodies to unlock the Cavern of Remembrance's data battles.
Oh,
for some
that's the
reason,
best
there will
part.
be no nobodies there. And then you just walk straight into the room. And it's like, what? That was easy. You completely skip it. It's like, okay. That's the best part. I'm so happy.
That's the best part.
But it is difficult, and it
those
takes...
nobodies.
It is difficult to set up, and it's complicated and confusing. I've never done it myself, even though I should. I've done every other challenge in the book. So I might as well give it a shot. I know how it works. I've done the out-of-bounds part of it, but never attempted to infinite jump because I wanted to fight all the nobodies. I didn't want to skip it.
That's the best part, especially like if you haven't gotten final form maxed out. Shoot.
That final nobody, wave after wave after wave of nobodies in that Cavern of Remembrance thing, that is, according to the fan base of all the speedrunners and stuff, is debatably the hardest part of the game.
Oh.
When you're doing it critical level 1. The critical level 1 of that part is easily the hardest part. It's like Lingering Will, or this part. No, this part's harder than Lingering Will for sure. It's like, really? Yeah, it's harder than all the data bosses battles combined, too.
Oh,
I was like, you're kidding me, right? And then I give it a try for myself. Oh, gosh. The normal enemies are harder than the bosses a lot of the time, especially those mages, because they're immune to magnet, and you can't just magnet thunder them to death. You have to use a different tactic.
Where is the sense in all this? There must
And I
be
found some
another
really
way.
good, consistent
death's
tricks and
looming
techniques to
nothing.
get
You
rid of
must
those
live.
mages. But, it doesn't make it easy.
I get it. This is what belongs in
It's
Orin's heart.
incredibly
He
difficult.
must have had a pretty rough life.
So don't ever do that level 1
in the
unless
end,
you really
that's
have
really what
nothing
made
else
him
in your life
stronger.
to do.
Let's give it back.
Nobodies?
my
Where did they
favorite
come from?
peoples. What's good?
Hi.
This is it.
Oh, I really love that. It's cool. I can't remember what the movie's called. The spinning one. I gotta go back to this. That's such a great movie for crowd control. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Vicinity break, is it?
I think that's what it's called. Yeah, and that's great for building up your drive gauge too.
Especially when you have no MP. If you're in an MP recharge, everything builds up faster. Stitched is so nice for infinite magic. It's just nice. It's great.
Not what I had in mind, but I'll take it.
We better skedaddle.
Run! I like how the Heartless are just intervening. Let's go save Orin. Lucky. Yep. Lucky there.
Now, finish him!
Orin! No!
How
How does Orin have the strength to single-handedly outmuscle Hercules' both arms? I know Hercules is all bummed out and whatever, but
Donald.
Seriously.
Goofy.
Why those little... Prisoner, what happened to our mutual agreement? I can give you a clean slate, but you gotta work with me.
I leave it to...
Maybe you didn't hear me. This
Since
is my story,
he
and you're not part of it.
being controlled. Certain limitations in his brain make him stronger.
Okay, we'll just play that card. I like it.
This game is over.
I mean, it's like as ridiculous as how old man Xehanort, he's like in his 80s, almost 90 years old. And this old geezer single-handedly blocks and deflects Terra's two-hand full swing in multiple occasions.
Oh, I leave that to
Magic.
Yeah, they'll give him the Master Yoda card.
Well, so Star Wars is now owned by Disney. What are we gonna do? If they're in Kingdom Hearts, what do we do?
Oh, I was hoping for that, but sadly we didn't get that.
Kingdom Hearts 4. Who's hoping?
Right at the get-go. You don't compete?
I mean, I was still I was slightly upset that there weren't any Final Fantasy characters except for that little
Meg, hang on!
Cloud being talked about in
Looks like wonderful.
what was it? In the little tutorial.
In the intro of Olympus. Yeah, that was.
And Dissidia being like teased and.
I understand that you have that focus of ending the Kingdom Hearts story, so you remove the characters, but remove them completely.
Yeah, man, they took a whole world out.
The one whole world is gone. Oh, but 7 others showed up.
Like what happened? I want to know what happens with Squall and the guys now. And you're like, nah, man, you don't get to know about that. It doesn't happen. I want to know if Cloud finally beats Sephiroth. Oh my god.
The reason why Phil didn't have a voice acting or any talking whatsoever was because of a respect thing.
Yeah.
The whole Japanese voice actor dying, and they figured they'd follow suit with the English voice acting. Why not? They didn't voice act or implement any speech for Phil in the Japanese, why do it in English? Nobody can replace Phil kind of thing. It's like, okay. So, sure. Will we hear voice acting of Phil in future games? Who knows?
Because it's
it doesn't excuse why.
Gee, then how do we beat him?
What's his face? Lexius and
yeah,
Zoldan.
Alias. It was Dylan Alias, as there's somebody named.
Doesn't excuse that. That was just. That was
lazy.
sloppy. Yeah, that was lazy.
I don't know what they did there.
That was just really disturbing. And I was like, stop making faces.
Stop being awkward.
It was like Zexion. It's like Alias is upset too, and all you see is he just turns around and then walks right up, like, say something.
Just no more crazy
I'm like, you're not even making grunting noises. Don't make a grunting face if you're not gonna make the noise. It's just awkward now.
Oh no. Poor guy.
How dare you get a happy ending? How dare you? That's it. You won't stop me, hero.
Yeah, okay. Let's whack him with the key. Bonk. Yeah, this fight is a little bit interesting. It doesn't matter what you do, he's always going to snap his fingers, head will disappear. And he always turns red. It's like it's supposed to be a repetitive cycle of the same thing. So I don't know what using a drive form is going to do to make things any better, besides, well, you can probably level up Limit Form.
Yep.
Well, okay then.
Limit Form is just one of the easiest ones to level up in my opinion. Because all you have to do is really use your limits. I mean, you're limited by your MP. You can always just use
Here's an exploit to that. Since you have MP Rage in that form, and Sonic Blade is the cheapest consuming MP attack that you got, and it still counts as the amount of points as any other move, you could just use Sonic Blade, Sonic Blade, Sonic Blade. But before you run out of magic, Sonic Blade once deliberately get hurt to restore enough MP so you can use it again without MP recharge. And then repeat the cycle like that. Especially doing things like the 1,000 Heartless boss fights. But in Critical Level 1, it's scary because they do, those little guys like to do that breakdance, spinning attack, and with wombo combos you to death real easily then. You just get stuck and you can't do anything and then you die. So it's kind of difficult to do a Sonic Blade level up grind there when you're level 1.
Yo, Orin.
Mister.
Can't do your limit? Oh no! It's the coolest one!
Your pay shall be twofold.
Yeah, it's like the coolest limit besides, Jack.
Prepare to scream. Which Jack are we talking about?
Sparrow.
Yeah, that guy. Woohoo! We win. So you're not skipping the scenes to these because for fun?
Yeah. If I was just playing and I wasn't streaming, I would be skipping all over the place.
But now there's no one left.
Because I've already saved this, I don't need to watch it again.
Maybe it's time to take my own
I've
story.
seen these scenes so many times, I just skip them at this point.
Oh, yeah.
On occasion, if I feel like watching a certain scene, I don't skip it.
Not at all.
You know, for the
Or
final
if it's a
mix
favorite.
ones, I had to be careful for which ones I skipped.
Sure, you could.
I really wanted to skip that like 5-minute one where it's just literally Xemnas walking for like 5 minutes. I wanted to skip that.
Spirals, stairs, all
Oh
the way
my
down.
god.
No, thanks.
Just why? I was like, I can see why this was cut from the American release of the game.
Well, it wasn't cut. It was more like it was added.
Oh yeah, it was like essentially, well, because Final Mix is the original version of the game, and then we got the American edited version.
Thanks again, guys.
And then they're like, here's the original version of the game.
No. Actually, what happened is Japan gets their official version of the game. Then the US gets the version of the game with a slight tweak or adjustment or additives on some games. And then they released a year later a Final Mix version. The Japan-only Final Mix. So it's better than even the Japanese version.
Lovebirds seem to be getting along just fine without us.
So a best example is Birth by Sleep. Japanese Birth by Sleep, it was crap. Then the US version came out and we got a secret boss called the Mysterious Figure, a time-traveling freakazoid that wasn't in the Japanese version. But then the Japanese version came out with another one a year later called Birth by Sleep Final Mix. It included a bunch of new stuff for that Mirage Arena, bosses, and cool stuff.
in case Hades shows up again.
I'm still trying to figure out who the mysterious is.
Come on,
Mysterious Figure is a time traveler. He is young Xehanort.
Well, you're not wise enough.
I was either going to say that or like
Not quite
a
seasoned
souped up
enough.
version of Ansem.
Okay, we get the hint.
Look, kid, it's not my call.
Amson the Wise, and I was like, it's what Amson the Wise could really do, but
you'd have
he
no
was
problem.
keeping his powers hidden.
I
was like, it's either that or like...
Really?
Amson the Wise is a good guy, though.
On second thought, if those are your hero faces,
he doesn't look like the guy who'd be swinging lightsabers and time traveling and cloning himself.
Yeah, but what Nomura would pull something like that. That's why I left it open. I was like, he'd pull something like this.
Well, what do you know?
Like, I wouldn't doubt it either if he had went through with something like that.
But yeah, the reason why Xemnas doesn't wield a Keyblade was because the Keyblade rejected him soon after the whole changing from the birth by sleep scenario.
Yeah.
So that's why Nohart had a Keyblade.
Yeah.
That was just basically a Keyblade Xemnas.
Like, I want to say, Union, like, basically scratches that whole fact that the Keyblade chooses people if you can just go ahead and make your own Keyblade, essentially. And then, with 3 adding on to the fact that, oh yeah, Riku and Mickey need to get new Keyblades. I was like, I thought the Keyblade chose its wielder. And now you're just like,
well,
oh,
technically,
no, you can make one.
There's an explanation for that. Keyblades are special, sure. Some will have entities of their own, and some you can craft, but require training and proper ability to do so.
Yeah.
In this case, Sora's key is an exceptionally special Keyblade. The Kingdom Key of his is the Keyblade that belongs to the realm of light. This Keyblade chose Riku based off of the inheritance or the passing down of Terra to Riku. But because the realm of light Keyblade... Yeah, the realm of light Keyblade did not like the darkness of Riku's heart. So it kind of said, I'll just stick with Sora for a minute. But it kind of stayed that way.
It was like, Riku, you're listening to too much Linkin Park right now. You need to chill out.
Keyblade... Riku decided to end up getting his own Keyblade. At least, so yay on that. But so, Sora's powerful Keyblade also comes with a counterpart. The Kingdom Key D, the Keyblade Mickey found in the realm of darkness. These Keyblades are tied by these 2 keys that seal the door. That was in Kingdom Hearts 1. Kingdom Hearts, they sealed that Kingdom Hearts with those 2 Keyblades, restoring the whole darkness and light and the Heartless, taking out all the worlds and stuff. It restored and disconnected all the worlds. But those 2 Keyblades are special, and they choose their masters. Or they would, but Mickey decided to just pick it up and say, hey, you're mine.
Yes, and it had no say-so. It was just like, okay, sure, whatever.
But the passing down of a Keyblade could be a magical power that passes down a Keyblade by fate. Whether you get the Keyblade the previous wielder had, or a random key just shows up one day through destiny. These things just happen, and you just get a key if you get it passed down from another wielder.
Must be Organization 13 again. We better go see Leon.
Sora's the one who will open the door to light, of which he does in Kingdom Hearts 2 at the end after beating Xemnas. But all it did was take him home. Shoot, if Aqua had just been there at that shore at the same time Sora and Riku were there, they could have just been like, hey, take me with you.
Yeah.
No, she just happened to not be there at that point in time. She arrived shortly after 2, where Diz was there after the events of 2. And talks about the events that Sora did.
She's
like, oh my goodness, you just missed them. Dadgummit. Shoot. Did I really just miss them? Yes. But I don't think Diz knew. Ansem the Wise didn't know that Sora was there, probably.
Probably not.
Well, it sucks.
Yeah.
Hey, Scrooge, you finished your ice cream. You finally did it. You recreated it. Soon you're gonna find a rat to help you run a bistro. You're gonna have a heyday and make a lot of money in that business.
Which drive one? No, that's not drive. I need okay.
My favorite moves for Valar form is just mash square to go into an airborne finisher and then press X after you do that lunge in the air to move. I use it just to stagger the enemies, to prevent them from attacking me. Instead of your slow, sluggish 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then finish, it takes too long. This goes straight to the finish, and then you finish, and then you do aerial combos. It gets them into a staggered state much quicker than just regular combos do. Sure, you're doing more damage with less hits, and you're not leveling up Valar form slightly less, basically, but if you want to win, you powerhouse through it, or you can just do it the slow way and level up Valar form. But since your purpose was to level up Valar form, I don't see a problem with you mashing X. But yeah, confounded hurry. Why you? Listen, old man, don't tell Sid what to do. He knows what he's doing.
MCP. We do about the Tron's world. Yay.
He went on over to Ansem Study to find out what all the ruckus was about.
That was that's a fun fight.
It's fine.
Oh no, what is it, Squall?
Ooh. Interesting fact, folks. This room that Leon's in the whole lab, and also the computer room in Twilight Town, are both two different worlds, but in Kingdom Hearts 3, they are in the exact same map.
Turns out the MCP is using the data in that computer to crank out Heartless.
If you were to hack into the computer room, or like save edit your way into that room that you can't play in, and then you went out of bounds and you glitched to the floor and you fell through into the black void, underneath the Twilight Town computer room is this laboratory where Ienzo and everybody's there. They're both mapped in the same blank space. And it's like, what? I don't know why they did that, but cool.
That MCP sure doesn't know when to quit, does it?
Ooh, the MCP. This will be fun.
And we're back with the world's greatest ninja.
I hate the light cycle on critical one. You run into a wall once, it's over, and it's like, no! It's not fair. You die so easily, you can't heal. It's just bad times all around.
Yeah.
You don't have horizontal slash?
I do, I just don't.
You need
press
magnet
square
burst.
enough. I don't press square enough to use those
Dude, it
abilities.
does so... It's good for damage, I'll give it that, but...
Now what do I want
Magnet burst. Magnet burst is a must.
I'll go with that for now.
Oh, man. You can get rid of aerial recovery, because you would have the counter version of it, where you can attack instead of just recover. It's not that significant of a loss for casual play, anyway.
That's true.
But it's only 2 AP, so it's like, what are you gonna do?
Spirit strength, increase the level damage.
See if you have any AP up. Nope. You have a defense boost, though. You can equip that, at least.
I do? Oh, I do. I made that. That's right. I forgot about that. Let's probably use that.
You have an accessory slot still unequipped.
Oh, yeah,
you could get more AP through accessories.
True. This one's better. Slightly, for now. Until I make a different one. Unless you guys have some. That'd be good, but I don't want to steal that from Goofy. You don't have anything. Yeah. Alright. Goofy, you can keep your, what was it, diamond ring? Yeah, you can keep that, Goofy. You earned that. What was I about to do?
Finishing me. Oh my gosh, all these great abilities and none of them are equipped. Well, most of them are. Summon boost is great, combination boost. Yay. Magic lock on's great.
Oh yeah. I know some of the abilities I'll leave on, or I'll put on, but then I'll keep certain abilities like those. I'll keep the ones that I use the most on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which is why like
Dodge slash should never be equipped. It's useless in every strategy.
Dodge slash. What is that?
It's an action command, so it's in the blue.
I don't even know what that does. I don't think.
Well, basically, it's that slap, 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 slap move, but it basically, its hitbox range is weird, and sometimes the attack can miss, and then you get punished. It's just effectively weird. It's not bad, but it's horrible. I mean, it works, but a lot of competitive, or at least very ultra-hardcore pro strat skills usually have it unequipped. I'm like, really? Because, especially in like a Sephiroth fight, when you're doing that dance-around attack, but that one swing misses, and then Sephiroth goes into a combo swing and you're dead, oh, it's your fault. Well, it's because Sora missed, and it's... Oh, man. Things like that that drive people nuts. Just unequip it. It's flashy, it's an action attack, it's a combo of sorts, but I never saw usefulness in it. But yeah, you have guard break on, so yeah. Now you just need explosion.
Oh yes. That's my favorite.
Magnet Burst is a Final Mix exclusive ability.
Is it?
Yeah. In the PS2 version of the US version of this game, Magnet Burst didn't exist.
Oh,
Final Mix version, it shows up and oh, that's great.
I mean, my favorite finisher is Explosion for Birth by Sleep reasons. Because story-wise, it originated in Birth by Sleep. So I had like a running joke with my friend. I was like, my favorite finisher is Explosion. You know, that one move that originated came in Birth by Sleep. And he's like, no. He was like, it came out in 2. I was like, no, it didn't. I was like, canonically, it came from Birth by Sleep, and then Sora learned it. Which is why...
Canonically speaking...
I was like, canon-wise, it started in Birth by Sleep, which is why they have the, you know, their loading time for it. Oh god. And then Sora got it and made it slightly better than what it already was. And again, it's explosion. There's not a whole lot you can do to make it better. I mean, it's already...
But yes, you should be aware that explosion is definitely a move that you may be just smashing X, but it's not your attack stat that is what's doing damage. The higher your magic stat, the more damage that explosion does. It's based off of the magic stat. Interesting. Yay.
Yeah, and I think, well, I try to keep my magic stat at least half decent with my whatever, which is great for whatever build, or not build, but whatever I'm playing with. Try to keep at least a few points below, or a few points like, or basically the same. So what am I doing right now? What is it?
The puzzle pieces weren't. Yeah, those puzzle pieces were only introduced in the final mix version. We in the US never got them for the PS2. And also, the maximum gauge wasn't 9, it was 7 on the PS2. That sucked. So I bought a magic swap, or swap magic, whatever it was, for the PS2, so I could play a Japanese imported of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix on a US PS2.
You know, that's what like a lot of people did, because for some strange reason the game is still in English, even though it was Japanese.
Well, that's how they ported it. The Japanese actually like and prefer their English when it comes to voice acting and stuff, but the text, Japanese. They like to read language, but they like English spoken for some reason, especially in like Hollywood movies. When I went to a Tokyo movie I went to a movie in Tokyo. It was Avengers, Infinity War at the time. Basically, they didn't have Japanese voice acting. It was just English voice acting with Japanese subtitles throughout the movie. They prefer their English voice actors, and they like that stuff apparently. When it comes to Hollywood movies, they just, they'll just stick with the English. It's weird, but I'm okay with it.
Give me strength. Gather.
I went through a whole lot of training for a Japan trip. I decided to do all the study and the research in the world. I wrote a freaking book on every business, every train station, every address, phone book, phone number, business hours, what was on sale at what price at that time, the taxi, the trains, the buses, everything. I had a massive detailed report written down, only for me to leave it home on the day of the trip. I even self-taught to learn the whole language, in terms of speaking it at least, before the trip. So yeah, I was super dedicated. Yes. I think it was like 1,600 to 1,800 characters to learn. Somewhere around there. Not to mention, there's also an ancient kanji, which is an ancient Japanese writing that even the Japanese can't read anymore on some of them. Just because they're super old and they don't use them anymore. But you'll find them in history, museums, ancient, like you'll find them in temples or shrines. Things like that that are really interesting. The Japanese government might have information on them and know how to read and interpret them. But not everybody can. It's really interesting. But it's... yeah. So to learn the entire language before going on a Japan trip was definitely a lot of work and effort. And not to mention, it wasn't like go to school and do it. It was a self-taught thing. I went the route of listen and speak and understand the language, listen and repeat and know what phrase said what and what word order and the logic that they would use for certain words. It was one of those kind of things. Sure, watching an anime with subtitles, woohoo, sort of helped. But, yeah, it just took a long time.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I gotta put on I had to give one of those forms a different Keyblade. Valor form, you can get.
Yeah, for Valor form, I just focus on a Keyblade with very, very high attack or strength stat. Not worrying about the magic stat because it doesn't use magic at all. So yeah, that right there, the Guardian Soul is a great key for the Valor form. Decisive Pumpkin's also good. The Decisive Pumpkin could also be used as your main key, but you want to stick with Kingdom Key. The Master form can have a high magic stat. Your Circle of Light only has a one stat in magic.
Yeah, only reason I have is for MPs.
So, yeah, Oath Keeper, Wishing Lamp, those are some good ones.
Oath Keeper,
Photon, oh yeah, I forgot. Photon Debugger is ridiculously good when you're going to be spamming Thunder. Magic and Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
That Thunder boost is seriously going to do some damage. You just magnet Thunder.
I'll use that one instead. Instead of, what was I working on? I was going to either do Oath Keeper, but I don't do that. But like, the only one I put Oath Keeper on is like final form, because by then you've gotten a
obvious reasons.
Yes.
For obvious reasons.
So that's like the yeah.
It increases the duration of your drive form, which is nice.
Yes.
So, yeah, when you come back to the part that you're at now and you see a bunch of dancers, nobodies, after the whole MCP area, yeah, that part, it's easily beatable by just using Magnet and Stitch summons. Just magnet the crap out of those dancers.
This is my favorite Riku.
Huh. The wrong Riku, yeah.
Or in the greatest not female cloud impersonator ever.
Yeah, at least you get the Gullwing key here.
Liars!
What?
Leon doesn't have any treasure!
I didn't say that.
Fought for you guys.
Donald!
Oh, Donald. I said that. Don't put this on me.
I don't see how we're gonna work this out.
So what should we do?
I am no phone baloney, Donald did it. Take all his stuff, his shirt and hat too. Take both of his bracelets. I don't know if you could take his little staff or wand, whatever. It's mine. Rematerialize. It's mine. You can't take this.
We're just going to take your treasure.
At least you have a rod.
I don't have any treasure.
Well, you have Master Form, and you can go to the tower real quick and make a lot of cash.
Okay, we've decided. The Gullwings are taking all your items.
You gotta be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding. We'll take all of your Mega Elixirs. We'll take all of your Ethers.
Look.
Couple of those drive recoveries.
Sora, don't apologize. It was Donald's fault.
Leon told us the whole story. He said your journey's been pretty rough.
I swear, if you take a single AP boost, you're in deep trouble.
Here.
I have 2 magical keys that I can pummel you to pieces with.
Bye. Good luck on your journey.
Turn you to paste. Just. Oof. I don't know. Ooh. Instead of stealing all our items, we get one. Fancy that.
Increase the amount of experience gained. I mean, that's pretty good. I'll think about it.
So yeah, that Gold Wing Keyblade will be perfect for leveling up to 100, or in this case 99.
Yes.
If you like the obnoxious sound of weave, 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 weave when you're about to die. Next 5 to 7 hours. Magnet Thunder, Magnet Thunder. That's all you gotta do.
Oh, yes. The Magnet Thunder combo is by far the best thing in the worst. It's sad that you can't do that in 3. It's really sad. I just stuck with the basic Fire Blizzard Thunder combo, which is just about basic. And then you keep Cure. And occasionally you'll use like Arrow for like certain things.
Yes.
And occasionally you get like Mortaza, because Highland is
Back off.
Who else is left? What? I don't have Thunder Boost yet? Wow. Thought I got that. Oh well. Okay.
I liked a neat little feature of critical mode. If you pick that difficulty, you end up with a crap ton of abilities and AP right off the bat. That's nice. I really don't like those dancer nobodies. They ruin my day.
The dancers are
playing levels.
They're one basically unblocked.
Shit.
I've
always played level 1.
I didn't like the magicians, I think they are, or mages, whatever it's called. I don't like those guys. Just no. Just no.
Since I've played him as level 1 so many times, I just expect that I will instantaneously die the second they grab me, because there's no way to survive it.
Yeah.
But in your case, you get grabbed like, why didn't you die? Oh. Lucky, I'm jealous.
Aerith, again, I told you, you're not supposed to be here.
We were just supposed to die or something? Or is it too early? When does Sephiroth impale you?
Oh, man. Oh, I can't wait to see how that's going to be in the Final Fantasy VII remake.
If they do the remake and Aerith still dies, dang it. Why do I want to re-experience it?
I feel like they're not going to change that.
Why do I want to re-experience it this time in HD?
I mean, there's still a whole, dead bodies float and don't sink, so... pretty sure Cloud killed Aerith. Oh man!
Just tell Cloud to up his game and beat Sephiroth before it happens.
It's like, what was it? Was it Final Fantasy VI or was it 5? Where
Final Fantasy
one party member died and they were actually trying to bring him back. Is that 5? I think it was either 5 or 6. One of the two. I was like, bro, this is the only time I've ever seen any of the Final Fantasy characters actually use the items and try to revive a party member. Half the time you just watch them die, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? You have life. You literally have rays. Bring him back to life. Oh, God. It's like, I know you have a Phoenix down. I literally just bought, 2. You can spare 1. Oh, man. Oh, look at that. That's convenient.
Do it again, I wasn't looking.
We'll be there soon, Tron.
Oh, right. Now we get to quit sleeping time.
Wow. It's already 2:50. Yeesh.
Whoa. That's looking pretty good. I don't know if I want to do that
though. I should probably get to bed. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah, I was supposed to end this like an hour ago. Huh?
Oopsie.
Yeah, and then I can start playing Kingdom Hearts 3 at 7 in the morning. Oh, right. It's time to end this stream by equipping this last Keyblade.
Wait, what time is it there?
Where I'm at, it's 4:50.
Oh, well, 2 hours ahead.
I was supposed to be attempting to go to sleep, about an hour ago.
Oopsie.
But I don't go to sleep until like 4 in the morning anyway.
I was having too much fun.
Alright, time to end my stream. Alright, people. I'm done playing for now. And then I'll be back again, because I gotta make up for like all the games I skipped, because I was tired. I got so many games to play tomorrow. Or today. Oh, yeah. I was supposed to be playing, what was it, today's Tuesday? I was supposed to be playing Until Dawn today.
Fun.
Or yesterday. Today is Ewok. Wait, yeah, today's Wednesday. So yeah, Ewok Hunt. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. Oh yeah, so I got what? I gotta play 3. Then I gotta play Outlast 2 because I was supposed to start that on Saturday, and I'm behind. Then I gotta play Soma. Then I gotta play Until Dawn, and then Ewok Hunt. Okay, then I'll be all caught up. Ugh. Alright. But now I don't have to do a Kingdom Hearts 2 video for a while, or at least I made up for one, because I did 4 hours, which is usually 2, so I'm going to do about 2 hours of Kingdom Hearts. So yeah, that means I'm not doing any more than 2 hours for Kingdom Hearts 3 though, because each world is at least an hour or 2 long. And that's not happening. I'm just going to probably do what? Monsters Inc. world, and then that'll be that Kingdom Hearts 3 video. Now I can go to sleep. Oof. Alright, but I'm going to sleep now. Alright, peace.